but outside too. These nutrients are key to our daily well-being. And for anyone who can get pregnant, folic acid is a must for preventing birth defects, helping you have a healthier pregnancy. The Arizona Department of Health Services is offering 3 months of free daily vitamins with folic acid. Power your health inside and out. Get your free vitamins at azdhs.gov/PowerMe A2C.
Sponsored by the Arizona Department of Health Services.
Your best plan to retire might be right under your roof. This is Rob Canier, and for over 20 years, I've helped people discover how they can utilize a portion of their equity in their home as a coordinated strategy in retirement planning, thus creating additional monthly cash flow, paying less taxes, and making their retirement assets last longer. This is a safe and proven retirement strategy for qualified homeowners age 62 and older. All you have to do is reverse your thinking. Call me, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to HarmonSolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast, too. Check it out. Go to HarmonSolar.com. That's HarmonSolar.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM. Wherever you go, take us along. Listen to our live stream on our free Fanatic app. Download it today.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody. It's Friday here on the Daily Blender, and I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Phil the fill-in today because our new guy, Harris, he had other obligations, and
he
so
pulled his groin, didn't he?
Or somebody's. I don't know whose, but no, he's I don't, you know what? I shouldn't say what he's doing. He's working in a professional sports capacity. I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
He's going through a table, as all professional sports do in the WWE. Mr. Triple H over there.
Yeah, he's big into women's wrestling. So he's
aren't we all? We all should be.
See, Phil, this is not Triple H. This is Jeffrey.
No. Triple H is what you've started calling Harris against my will.
Yeah.
I just didn't want any references at all to wrestling on this show. If I can avoid it.
I can understand it. I mean, after all, it is fake. I mean, fake and phony, invisible most of the time.
Invisible?
Well, that's the
I see.
John Cena thing.
Yes. You can't see me. Yeah.
My wife's like, "Oh, you kind of look like John Cena." I'm like, "No, I don't. I'm pale. I'm pale like he."
I was going to say, take that compliment, man.
I don't know about that. Maybe that's why I can't take that compliment, because I see him and I'm like, maybe it's that self-loathing. I don't know.
You too can be in Fast Furious 23, Jeffrey.
I think anybody could be in Fast Furious 23. I don't think that's
23 and you, Jeffrey.
Even
it's a marriage made in heaven.
I don't think it's an issue at all. So anyway, well, what the hell's going on here? Oh, it's our show, broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale, and Ralph from Harmon Solar will join us. And when he gets around to it.
Oh, no kidding. Ralph's joining us.
So he came down to the station today, and he swapped the equipment that we had traded for a while. And so now we've got swapped back. And and I got to meet Pippi. I've met her on a couple of occasions. So it was great to see her. And I was like, how are you? And then Ralph says this. Oh, this is the first day I've really felt very good at all. I'm like, first day? I told you not to come around me until you knew for sure every last germ of whatever the hell it is you had was off of you.
Yep.
So basically, I can't come inside the house for a while, and I'm going to be in the garage with this equipment, dipping it in a vat of Purell.
Well, okay.
That's my weekend.
Sure, I can see that.
How about you?
I will be cleaning out the garage. Miss Kim and I will be cleaning out the garage and working around the house.
Is that a euphemism for something?
No, that means that
you're going to be cleaning out Miss Kim's gutters, or
no, her gutters are just fine. Thank you.
Wow, we hear Phil saying that his wife has filthy gutters.
Wow,
that's a good way to get punched in the mouth.
You know, that is on me. I just
hell.
yard work.
You try and take a household analogy, you better come with the right one.
That is true.
Well,
That is true.
Phil, let me tell you something. My wife is Italian. She has no problem killing you.
Yeah.
And then chopping you up and putting it in some sort of a Italian pizza or something.
That seems to be the theme today, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
Phil will tell you off air what I mean.
Yeah.
No, there was a guest here at the radio station today.
Yes.
Oh,
we're
no
not
kidding.
we're not speaking about it on the air.
No kidding.
I'm standing there looking right at him like he looks familiar. And I'm like, oh dear God. I'm not gonna say another word on air. And I just
Text me.
now I'm gonna tell Ralph. It ain't a small thing. This is the guy that if I told Ralph's anus would pucker up really hard too, even being Italian.
Is he from Utah?
What?
Is he from Utah?
Who's from Utah?
A former friend and his son of ours.
Oh no.
Okay. All right.
No, those guys aren't scary. They're a joke.
Yeah.
Back to what we're talking about on the air that people can understand.
All right.
Average Joe says, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome, Harris. Okay, again, Harris ain't here today. He's working he had previous engagements when he took this job. And so now those previous engagements, well, he'll be on, he'll be off. Phil will be filling in, and we'll be fine. Everybody relax.
You may remember Harris saying that he was single. Well, now he's engaged. And congratulations to Philip, ladies and gentlemen, or to Harris. Yeah.
Well, Phil's not engaged. Harris is not even dating. Randy.
What? I thought I heard you say he was engaged.
Previously engaged in other sports-like activities.
Yeah, that would be speed dating on
okay.
fantastical levels.
I'm gonna let him
Apologize.
say it because maybe he doesn't want people to know.
I apologize.
It's none of my business. Just the tip says new phone. Is this where I embarrass myself?
Yes.
Okay, just the tip. You have the same number. That's why I know you're just the tip. So if you get a new phone, but you have the same number, you don't have to new phone who dis. You know what I'm saying? It's like we still know you're here. We know, by the way, what kind of phones you get? I'm a Droid guy. I enjoy all my free apps. And I don't care for iPhones. But Randy, you're an iPhone guy, right?
I am, and I have many free apps.
How about you, Phil?
I am free apped on the iPhone. Yes.
Kind of wonder, maybe I'm missing out on something.
Well, you know what you're missing out on is that Apple specifically lowers the integrity of photos that come in from droids.
Oh, yeah.
So even though you on your end are like, oh, we've got tremendous cameras.
My camera's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And that is usually what is touted. The people on the iPhone are always like, no, it's not. It always looks janky. Well, we wouldn't know any better, but it's.
But there's a thing on my end where it says send at high res at full value. And it doesn't show up on your end.
It never does. It's always going to why it's tinted yellow. Like it looks like somebody spilled some Dr. Pepper
So
on it.
why haven't you stopped asking me for pictures of my feet?
Well,
I feel
Jeffrey,
like
you do have the most amazing feet.
I
in
really
radio
do. I've got
broadcasting.
model quality,
Oh, you do.
handsome feet.
Damn right.
Astoundingly good looking feet. That's probably my best feature. And
Yeah.
my wife, she disagrees. I'm like, well, if I get a pedicure, which is me, I'm not flexible enough to chew my toenails off anymore.
Mhm.
So,
Anymore.
I can't reach them. So if I get the feet cleaned up, get all the dry skin shook off on the cheese grater action there,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
and you get the clippy, my feet are amazing. I can
Oh,
make money with these feet.
Yes. I believe you could be a professional foot model.
Damn right, I could.
Absolutely.
One foot in front of the other, Jeffrey.
I have no confidence about any other part of my body that's safe for work. Devil Hawk says, you got rid of Harris already? Thank goodness. I didn't like his snarky little attitude. Plus, he's UA, country music, Creed, Nickelback lover. There is no room for this in this show. He just has the day off, Devil Hawk. He just has the day off.
You'll be back.
But then he'll be gone. Then he'll be back. Then he'll be gone. It's going to be like
of
that
those
for a little bit. And then we got March Madness, which further complicates everything. Wilbur says, so Ralph has the sea chicken virus. Yeah, he's got the bird flu. I'm pretty sure that's what Ralph had. Average Joe says, the way to oust Phil's foot fetish to all the world, Jeffrey. I feel like I might be complicit.
When one is a toe guy, one is a Joe guy. I don't know.
I didn't know there was money to be made.
Phil, are you a heel guy or a toe guy?
When I see honey on a foot, I prefer it to be on the toes.
I didn't even know there was there's subgenres to. Oh, look, there's a foot. I mean, I got to be honest. I've never seen a foot and gotten an erection. I'm sorry. That's just
never,
never.
not one.
I mean, I just can't understand why somebody's like,
Personally.
ooh, feet.
Personally, I think Jeffrey's instep is amazing.
I have nice arches. I'll give you that. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
if you look at my arches like you look at the cleavage on a woman, that I understand.
Mhm.
But the rest of it, I don't get it.
Who holds the high ground there? Is it the guy
The
looking
guy with
down?
the higher arches.
Right, of course. But
Right.
who is it? The guy who's into heels looks down on the toe guy like, oh, you're that's just low hanging fruit, or is it the reverse? Is it like the toe
Same.
guy's like,
Yeah.
oh, I have a finer, refined taste,
I mean,
and you're
look.
just there for the bulky heel?
There's
Anybody
butt
could be a-
guys. There's breast guys. There's whatever.
Anybody could be a
Yeah.
toe guy because you can polish the nails all up and clip them, and they're all beautiful. It takes a special breed to be a heel guy.
I think it takes some kind of weirdo to even be into feet.
So Dennis Rodman, I'm kidding. Now there's a heel.
I mean, listen, I'm not here to kink shame, and just because I don't understand what you like doesn't mean that you're wrong to like it. I don't get the feet thing. I don't get somebody whooping my ass while making sweet love to me. I don't understand why people like to smack each other around. It's like, hey, oh, you know what'd be sexy if you kicked my ass? I just don't understand that. Choke me. I'm like, no, what? I don't understand that genre of things. I feel like ain't sex enough, you know? I mean, but again, that's just me. I don't need to kink shame the people who do like a good smack in the mouth. I just don't understand.
Well,
it.
I think the part of the problem is it's not a smack in the mouth, Jeffrey. It's a smack other places.
I think it's every place.
It's every
Oh, yeah.
place that is accessible to wear a belt
No, it's
or whatever.
take one of those
a belt. Jesus.
multi laced whips and just start raking the back of your lover with that boy right there. I mean, apparently that's a thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip that thing. It's never ever. And also, these people who like poop with the door open. That's
What?
just as weird and bad to me. I don't know. Don't.
See, I think there are people that would definitely have those two on different planes of weird. Again, we go into the conversation of who looks down upon whom. I think that there are plenty of people who like the whips and the chains and everything like Rihanna sings about in S&M. And also then look down and people are like, oh my God, you poop with the door open.
Yeah,
So I don't
well,
think that those two things are connected at all.
I feel like whatever you're gonna do in the bathroom, just close the door. I don't need to.
I
see
mean,
that.
to be fair, sometimes the dog opens the door, and you have no.
That
choice
is true.
because You're in the middle of.
Well, if I got a dog opening the door, I lock it.
Yeah.
The dog is not in charge of anything around me.
Well, I understand that,
except
but
for yesterday at
sometimes-
the end of the show. Poor Bevo had another seizure. That's why I had to walk off the show last night at the very last minute.
See, I thought you were kidding with me because it was my birthday, and
No,
I thought you
Which,
wanted
by the
me
way,
to say
happy-
something.
because there's nothing
thank-
better than
happy
a
belated
happy
birthday,
birthday. My
Randy.
dog's having a seizure. I mean, that's classic.
And on this date in Big George's history, go
Sport
Randy,
seizures.
you've got it. What? What? Excuse me?
Hey, listen, I just work here. So if my wife comes in and says, emergency, I'm
Yeah.
out. I'm gone. Just walking
I-
out the
no,
damn door.
And you should. You picked right. But
Yeah. I ain't trying to have sex with you. You know what I'm saying?
He's not trying to spank you, Randy.
No,
that's
no.
not what you told me. off the
no,
air.
I would never try to.
No.
No. Yeah. She could kick your ass. I'm just saying.
Mhm.
Latina Leprechaun says feet pictures with a cheese grater. Oh, that's sick. Why do I listen to this show? Well, you girls use the cheese grater thing where you scrape off the dead skin.
Yeah,
That's not even me. That's you guys.
No, that's a real thing. You use the grater on the heel so that way you smooth it out. You use some oil. It's a healthy thing. That's not even
Now-
a kink thing. That's a
see,
normal thing.
Now, Miss Kim's got one of those grinders.
Yeah.
It's like a sander. And you fire
I
that.
can't believe
dude
she's
up
on that site.
And you work your heels down.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
are you afraid you're going to go too far and all of a sudden you hit blood? And it's just,
It's all
Well, that happens to me every time I use the damn thing.
so
so
no,
I'm
I ain't using it.
not allowed to use
got to
it.
use it on your toes there, Jeff, Randy.
Gotta tell you, I did. Did I tell you guys? I actually did go with my wife once. She talked me into it. I got a pedicure.
How was
I
it?
actually did. And because we determined a long time ago, it's not a man card violation. I just don't feel like it's very manly. And
What color did you pick out?
well, now at my weight, reaching my toes ain't as easy as it used to be. No, there's no coloring. It was just clip my toenails. She was digging around there a little bit. It didn't hurt, so my toes were actually in pretty good shape. And then there's that thing where they massage your leg.
Yeah,
She was very unenthusiastic about it. She's like this. I'm like, where have I experienced that before? Just it was very, just not great.
There was no effort behind the action.
Yeah, my wife is sitting there looking over. She's just like, yeah, look who's not getting a tip. That's great. Yeah, because she knows because she's had plenty of the pedicures and stuff. So I learned, but I was like, yeah, I just clipped my own toenails for that much money.
You know, I never enjoy the time after a pedicure immediately after. It's like the days after when you enjoy the full afterwards, because immediately after it's all lotion, it's all oily, like you're walking around and like your feet are a little slippery. Yeah. But like the day after you've done it, it's like a breath of fresh air down there.
All I know is it's just to me a miracle of life if my toes aren't catching on the sheets at night. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
Or you hear that noise down there. Moldy Tuna Fish says, I'm into canker sores myself.
Oh, geez.
That's my kink. I visit the local nursing homes often to get my fix.
The canker kink.
Just a Tip says, I love my Moto 5 for $100. You $1,500 iPhone prove George Carlin quote about having more than God. That text kind of fell apart there.
Say, there's a pearl of wisdom in there somewhere, I think.
Just, it just depends on what your needs are. Like I do a lot of business on this phone, or else, you know what? I'd have a flip phone too. I just get a phone just for talking on the phone or just basic text message. Outside of that, there's a lot of stuff I can control radio stations with this phone.
Really?
I can hook in and I get into our station automations and I can do, and occasionally I'll just shut Jeff Bloom off in Palm Springs for the pure joy of it. I'll just hit the button, click, wait, phone rings. Oh my God. Click. There you go.
For me, it's I'm too far gone down the Apple lifestyle to where the accessibility between devices has really captured me. But if ever I slowly start to slip away, I do think I would very much enjoy an Android and that type of life.
But why do you have to? What are you talking about? What?
Because right now I have the MacBook, I have the iPhone, I have our AirPods and all that stuff. And so because you have all those things, they all connect to one another easily.
You can connect anything to anything.
No, not that. It doesn't work that way. And plus, MacBook comes with GarageBand, which is a nice little free editing tool there. So, yeah.
Just a Tip is an Android man. Scratch Me Because says, my wife calls me Howard Hughes when my toenails get too long. So here's the thing. My wife and I, we have the recliners and like a movie theater seating in the living room. And we have these recliners. And when we recline and I'm barefoot, the light from the TV goes and makes my feet glow translucently. And she's like, it's time to clip those. It's like a dead giveaway. I can't get away with nothing. Latina Leprechaun says, how many times do you get a pedicure, Phil? Every week?
No, not every week. I get it every so often. That is truly a luxury for me, where it's like maybe once every 6 weeks. 6 weeks. Once every 6 months. Otherwise, I take care of that myself. Although to further go down this conversation that we've been having, which is one that I never thought, but that's kind of the show.
You haven't been on the show.
He's been
training the kid.
I've been trying other things. It is a darn hard place to find out where to clip your darn toenails. Like I can't do it in peace. I'm living with somebody who does not enjoy the sound of clipping nails.
Oh, yeah.
It is hard to find.
If someone else is doing it, it is annoying.
Yes. And so like I'm the weird guy that now has to go to like Walmart and clip my toenails outside the car just so that way I have a place. If I have like a few extra minutes, that's where I'm going.
It sounds like you're in an abusive relationship.
No.
You got to go to a Walmart just to clip your nails.
Well, it's more so I'm going to Walmart and then I have a few minutes.
Well, I mean, have you seen the people in the Walmart? I mean, clipping your fingernails in the parking lot.
Pretty
that's very low. Yeah, that's low on the list.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but
Jeffrey wants to go back.
Where does she hit you?
Well, I mean, are we talking?
You don't have to take this. I know. They a lot of men get beatings and they feel like, well, if I report this, then I'm not very manly. You shouldn't have to take that kind of abuse, Phil.
See, we already moved away from the kink conversation. Do you want to go back to it, or
that doesn't sound like a kink? If you're scared to death and clipping your nails hanging out the side of your car at Walmart, I'm kind of worried about you.
No. She's a wonderful woman, and she What's ironic is she hates that sound, yet she is the best, the absolute best at like making her own nails. She like does her own designs and stuff on herself, on her hands.
Here's
Crazy.
an idea. If you asked her, could you clip my toenails?
She actually is very willing to do that. It's just finding the time together is the thing.
Well, I mean,
Because if we see each other once a week, do I want to spend it having her clip my toenails, or would I rather have cleaning gutters?
That was my best
Cleaning
advice,
gutters.
other than you take yourself to a shelter. That's all I've got. That's all I've got. Beer Bob says, "Can't you put your cut your nails in the bathroom?" Well, it echoes in there, and then she'll hear it.
Yeah,
and
reverberates.
then she'll go off on him like an out of control windmill. She'll beat
Yeah, oh,
him
yeah.
mercilessly.
Oh,
Yeah, that I mean, ASU buddy thought I should take your man card for the things you were saying earlier. That little noise, I think, is
It did it more. Did it more so?
Just a Tip says, Phil, please, good Lord of the baby Jesus and all the Navy ships at sea. You can't perform basic bodily upkeep?
Who says like? Oh, I think is he having a rub on the fact that I go get a pedicure every now and then? It's fine. It's fine.
No, we had this conversation, and it's not necessarily manly, but it's not a man card violation.
Plenty of professional athletes insist upon
Sure.
it.
No, Chuck and Shaq
Shaq,
do it.
A lot of football players.
They're
because-
way far away from them toes.
Yeah, and a
They're
lot of
very
wide
tall.
receivers too, especially with having to, with the toe taps that are necessary there. They need to have good, healthy feet.
Randy, you got pedicures?
I have never had a pedicure in my life. I have had a manicure.
Anybody? So do you feel like nobody's gone down there and filed that stuff down for you? Huh?
I do my own toes. Thanks.
I've always done them too. I just recently did it. Just
I'm at the age though when it's dangerous. You got to wear safety goggles when you cut your toenails.
Yeah,
Because those babies shoot off of there like missiles. I mean that like
Mhm.
a sidewinder off of an F-35.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
You could scrape a cornea.
Oh
no,
no,
you
it's dangerous. I mean that's bad. I should get battle pay for doing
gotta
that.
have goggles.
Oh, yeah.
Moldy Tuna Fish says, Phil, I like the sound of clipped toenails, so you can come to my place anytime. You need to clip
What?
them.
Appreciate the offer.
I wouldn't go.
Mm.
Just a Tip says, yeah, but you'll eat Thanksgiving off the back of a toilet. Listen, don't try to figure out Phil. He's an enigma. Walter Mellon says, Phil, I understand you can't say you're in trouble on the air. However, use the code signal on the video stream. Let us know if you're okay. Yeah, the signs of duress or,
Blink twice.
Yeah.
Order the pepperoni pizza with a side of pineapple thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Kiss the Cook says, I'm an Android guy myself. My wife was adamant about me getting pedicures, by the way. She is not a fan of me biting them off. So you got to find a friend who'll bite yours off for you. And then that's just the minute I said that out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
see, the reason why we aren't allowed to have a missing rib is because if we are allowed as men
Mhm.
to be able to bite our toenails, if we have that flexibility, that is an irresponsible power for men to have. That's all. That's the furthest I'm going to go with that. But if you could do more than just bite your toenails, men would do so.
And with that, we should take a break.
And on that note,
Yeah, nothing would ever get done. Oh, we know why you guys are trying to learn yoga. Don't act like we don't know. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, kick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
Paid for by Hims & Hers Health. Hims & Hers Weight Loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions at forhers.com apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded.
With Hers, you can access doctor-trusted weight loss plans, like compounded GLP-1 weekly injections with the same active ingredient as Ozempic and Wegovy. Based on pricing through Hers, save up to 91% per month with compounded semaglutide, the same active ingredient as the name brand drug. Get started at forhers.com/start today. That's forhers.com/start.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do
Let's play something, Grandma.
became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to HarmonSolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast too. Check it out. Go to HarmonSolar.com. That's HarmonSolar.com.
Multivitamins are your partners in health. Their nutrients are key to your daily well-being, especially if you're planning to become pregnant. A multivitamin rich in folic acid can help you have a healthier pregnancy and prevent birth defects. That's why the Arizona Department of Health Services is offering a free 3-month supply of daily vitamins with folic acid. To get your free vitamins, go to azdhs.gov/PowerMe-A2Z.
Sponsored by the Arizona Department of Health Services.
Catch all the action of NCAA men's basketball, starting with the game of the week. Got it! Wow! Then, conference and regional tournaments, NCAA tourney, March Madness, and the championship game live. Fires from three. Oh, he hit it! Don't miss a moment on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com. Your home for March Madness.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. All right, so 24 minutes into the show, and we've tried to avoid it, but, I guess the reality has to be accepted, and that is the Canadians beat the United States last night in overtime in the Four Nations Face-Off Championship. I got to tell you, I really enjoyed watching that.
Oh, Canada!
That was a great game, and Connor McDavid just doing the Sidney Crosby right there. It just listen, you can't get mad at the Canadians. Here's the thing: we're not mad at the Canadians. The Canadians are mad at us. And listen, those are some great players on that team. There's great players on Team USA. I mean, look, it went to overtime for a reason. Nobody scored in the third for a reason. The defensemen, the offense, the goalies. I mean, it was just like some of the best hockey you're going to even watch.
Oh yeah.
And just unfortunately, one mistake. That one mistake. Why?
Well,
why was there nobody on top of Connor McDavid? He was out there by himself in the slot. It just I mean, it's easy to say, oh, why was it? But people are doing the best they can. They're scrambling. They're trying to be in the right place. But somebody dropped it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's in overtime in hockey, Jeffrey. It's 5-on-5, and so when you get down to 5-on-5, it all comes down as who has the advantage. Who are the better skaters? Who are the better shooters? And how are you going to defend this? And I think Canada had the edge. As a matter of fact, when we started to go into that overtime period, I thought, Canada, they have the best chance to win here because look at what they have. Look at how they can change the lines up. Look how they have these guys on there. Amazing hockey players.
Although there's a couple of times they had too many men on the ice and they didn't get a penalty for it.
Well,
and they're like, well, because they didn't know. But one guy actually did touch the puck. So it's like, they should have gotten called. Again, not why we lost.
Yeah.
Fair and square. Not trying to start nothing. Not bringing up the fact that one of our stars was sitting on the bench. That's nothing to do with anything.
One of our stars was on the bench because he was injured. If you're talking about one of the Kachuk brothers, he had come out earlier in the game. And that's why he didn't play a whole lot going. He was trying as hard as he could, but he's dealing with an injury. And there was just no way he could go with it. I mean, if he could have been on the ice, he would have been on the ice. I guarantee it.
I know. But, this is just the way it goes. And I think this was a great game. And I look forward to seeing another. And it's like, at the end of the game when the Canadians were celebrating, the Americans stand there just looking because they're thinking about next time. They're thinking about next time.
And can I say I went to a bar last night, not knowing whether or not, like, just forgetting
that's,
kind of.
It's a great story.
Yeah,
Phil.
good
What
story.
does that
Yeah,
have to do
that's
with
amazing.
the hockey game?
I went to a bar and I had no idea that this was such a draw. The general man was out there in full USA regalia saying USA with each score. I did not realize that it had struck a chord nationally as it has. It was something akin to an Olympic event. I didn't realize that because I mean, of course, we're in the sports world, so I always kind of, I have a purview of this. But I didn't realize that for the general public and population that probably doesn't draw on a regular hockey game, that this really struck a chord nationally.
Yeah, we've always known you're a big purview.
If you did not believe Arizona is a hockey state or Phoenix is a hockey town, I would ask you to if you were out last night, what did you see? And I think you'll find that there are more than enough fans to support an NHL team here in the Valley of the Sun. And I cannot wait until we get a good ownership group and bring NHL hockey back to Phoenix.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit, but yeah, I mean, this is a town that can support and will support a hockey team. Poutine Paul says, "Sorry, you Yanks. It was a hard-fought game, and you could have easily gone either way. Team USA fought valiantly. Canada was the better team last night. No, you weren't. Here's the thing: you won the game. You weren't the better team. These teams were on even feet. There was one mistake made that set Connor McDavid up for that goal. Yeah. So no, I'm not going to accept." You were the better team last night. I think the teams were about even. One guy blew an assignment. Connor McDavid got the goal. Connor McDavid's a star. He's an amazing player. It ain't like we ain't got a bunch of them too. No, I'm not going to take the Canada was the better team last night line.
No, I don't think Canada was the better team. I think both of these teams are very evenly matched. What I was referring to, Poutine Paul, was going into overtime. I believe Canada had the edge. Going into overtime, I believe Canada had the edge because if you looked at their lineup compared to ours, and the fact that not Keith Kachuk, the Kachuk son, which one it was, he was injured and was unable to get out there and skate. And there was another guy that was playing injured last night. This USA team played like you said, Poutine Paul, good word, good description, a valiant game. And, doggone it. I don't know if it was a blown assignment or just that Canada,
just the moment.
Exactly. It was just the moment that McDavid got open and he was able to whistle that puck past our goalkeeper. So,
but don't come at me with Canada was the better team.
Also, saying that they're the better team in a sport that very much involves itself in series. Like every series is a best of seven. It's not even baseball, where baseball they have a single game elimination. I mean, even there, at least it's somewhat. It would make more sense in a single game. You can say, well, I mean, they do that in the playoffs. In hockey, they do not have that format. So to say that they're just strictly the better team,
you mean in the playoffs?
Yeah, in the playoffs.
They have series in the playoffs.
No, yes, exactly my point. I'm saying that they don't have single game series. So to say that. Yes. So to say that Canada is the better team over USA when they're pretty evenly matched, and given over a series, this easily looks like it could be bare minimum a 6-game series, if not a 7-game series. But of course, they're not going to do that for an all-star game. But to say that they're just flat out the best team in a sport that very much heavily promotes series, it feels errant.
I also wonder what would have happened if overtime wasn't sudden death.
That's true.
In hockey.
It's designed to be sudden death, but if in the NHL, if it goes, I don't know, a certain amount of overtimes, I don't know if it's 2 overtimes, and then they do a shootout, but they were playing international rules where it was 5-on-5 until somebody scored a goal.
Whatever the case, Canada wins. The United States loses. Yeah. It was a great. It was a great night of hockey. It's been a lot of fun watching the 4 nations face off. We don't have any beef with Canada, and really Canada doesn't have any beef with us. Everything that's being going on, it's all political. Yes. It's just when the crowd in Canada decides to boo the national anthem, it's like, you know what? Why don't you just pull up some episodes on streaming and boo The Apprentice? Because that's not all of us. I didn't have nothing to do with the tariffs. These players had nothing to do with the tariffs. This is some stuff that is being decided, by a guy. You boo that guy. We didn't do it. If somebody agrees with it, that's fine. I'm just saying, I didn't like how Canada just turned on us. Like, they're supposed to be the nice guys. They turned on us so fast and started booing our national anthem. That aggravated me. That pissed me off about that. So I was glad we beat the crap out of them in that game. 9 seconds, 3 fights. That was for the booing. And then the rest of it, just hockey. It's just hockey. We got nothing wrong with these guys, and they shouldn't have any issues with us. And I think the booing at the national anthems, that needs to stop. Come on, man. But hey,
I didn't see. Did Boston boo last night?
No, they didn't. Good. No, I don't believe they did. I didn't have it on.
I didn't see it.
Did anybody? I didn't get it on quick enough because I was dealing with something else. Did they? I didn't think they did. But let us know if you saw the beginning.
Apparently, according to KTTV via Yahoo, Canadian national anthem booed by some, but not many.
So a couple of Yahoos, but most everyone else was respectful. That's good to hear. So all right, I guess we'll see you guys in 356 days when the Olympics are in Italy. 2026. That's right. Men's ice hockey right there. And now, am I right? The NHL players can play again.
Yes,
I believe so. Yeah.
To the best of my knowledge.
Well, that'll be this. You know what I'm saying? That'll be this. That'll be a lot of fun. Looking forward to more. The next question I have a lot of questions, and I'm hoping somebody can answer. They're going to do this Four Nations face-off every year.
I believe they are.
Well, that's great.
Yeah,
that is great.
I think I heard the commissioner last night respond with this whole thing's a big deal, and I think they want to do it again. However, like you said, next year is an Olympic year,
and, so they might not have it.
They might not have it next year, but they might do it again the following year. So.
All right. Well, I guess hopefully we get to see this again. But if this doesn't kind of get you excited to watch more hockey, I don't know what will. Devil Hawk says, I'm all for the tariffs. F you, Canada. You can stick your maple syrup right up your. I'm not gonna just keep I don't want to hate on Canada. I'll tell Canada what for. I'll tell them what for. You're not the better team. You just won in a close game. And I love your maple syrup. I'll take that maple syrup. But well, I guess that's not really telling them off, is it? Yeah. Just the tip says Canada won the cup. Yeah. That's cool.
It was stunning. It was absolutely stunning. What a thrilling game, though. And I can't think of a better way for the Four Nation face-off to end. But that was spectacular hockey, in my humble opinion.
And it lived up to the hype too, because I mean, everybody was excited going into it. It was a lot of rev. It was a lot of publicity.
Yeah.
Glad that they could. I mean, there were lead changes. There was an overtime. What more could you ask for?
Yeah, I was sitting there and I was seriously shifting in my chair.
Yeah,
I was doing like where the thing was like I was like I don't usually get that demonstrative watching sports.
I found myself clenching my teeth through the whole game.
You were clenching, and every time there's like, I knew there's gonna be a shot. I'm like, yeah. The dogs are like, what is wrong with you, man? Beer Bob says all overtime periods will be 3-on-3, regardless of round robin or preliminary. 5 minutes with a 3-round shootout. And it was
last night it was international rules. Yeah. It was 5-on-5.
So he's talking about NHL rules. Is that what you're doing, Beer Bob? Talking NHL rules? I love how I talk to the text like it's gonna like suddenly answer back. ASU Buddy says, who won the fights in your opinion, Jeffrey? We did. Didn't we? Didn't we?
I don't know. I didn't see the fight, so I don't know.
Average Joe says, no, the intent is to alternate with the Olympics. So every 2 years you have either Olympics or Four Nations.
But also, didn't they just announce last night that there'll be the first, the World Cup of Hockey competition that starts in 2028? And that's going to be Team North America versus Team Europe, something like that. I thought I saw that.
Well, the Hockey World Cup hasn't been around since I think it's 2016. And it will be returning. But I don't know all the details on that. I'd have to do some more research.
So right now, top of the ninth, it is tied in the first spring training game. Arizona Diamondbacks 6, Colorado Rockies 6. It does not matter. None of it matters. Just so you know, I'm telling you. You know, though, that is a good question, though, ASU buddy. Who won the fights? You're talking about those 3 fights in the first 9 seconds of the last time they played Canada. And the videos I watched, I felt like United States players had the edge. I mean, I don't know if I saw all 3 fights though. So if I didn't see one, I thought that I think I saw 2 of the fights. I felt like the American had the edge on that. Somebody can tell me if I'm wrong. Beer Bob says, yeah, those are the NHL rules. And I believe this is just going to be one and done for the 4 nations.
Oh, certainly.
He says, because I can't do it next year because of the Olympic break. Unless they change their mind going forward, which I'm all for. Well, Beer Bob will let you know. Moldy Tuna Fish says they're not necessarily doing this 4 nations tournament again. It was supposed to be a one-time thing. They might do it every 4 years, but nothing's set in stone. Why wouldn't you do it every year? Why wouldn't you?
Well, I mean,
especially now.
Well, I think too, if you do it consistently every year, it might just lose its luster. And that's what you were able to capture a moment. You were able to capture the heartbeat of the entire nation, and especially in a great time to do so, where, you know, it's a sports barren landscape right now. One would hope that you don't overuse it. Don't go to the well too many times, and then it becomes dry, because something like this is really precious, really cool. I do want to make sure that it is protected in all of its fervor and grandioseness.
Moldy Tuna Fish, thank you for that. Listen, we got to take a break. I got a lot of text still here on the text line. We'll get right back to it when we return. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
African Americans are the most likely to die from colorectal cancer. So please get screened starting at age 45. Now, Medicare and insurance companies are required to cover not only colonoscopy, but also less invasive exams like virtual colonoscopy. Talk to your doctor about your options. For more information on virtual colonoscopy, visit radiologyinfo.org/virtual CT.
Furnished by the American College of Radiology and the Radiology Health Equity Coalition.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harman Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harman Solar Podcast at harmansolar.com.
The Renaissance Festival is back. Weekends now through March 30th. Hubba, hubba, huzzah! Huzzah! Great shopping. A giant crafts market. You'll love the Renaissance Festival with your favorite shows. Be ready to have a great time. And don't be afraid to participate. Huzzah! Jousting nights. Huzzah! Silly fun for the entire family. Huzzah! Happiness reigns at the Renaissance Festival. Huzzah! Lots of new shows. Non-stop feasting. Leave your cares behind. It's fun and affordable. You'll adore the Renaissance Festival. Weekends now through March 30th. Discount tickets available at Bashers' and Food City or online at arizona.renfestinfo.com. Presented by Delta Airlines, Bashers', Food City, Pepsi, Budweiser, and Guinness.
Delta Airlines is the official airline of the Arizona Renaissance Festival, a proud sponsor of the Royal Fair. Huzzah!
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students.
Start a promising career in law enforcement with the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office. As an MCSO detention officer, you'll play a critical role in ensuring public safety for the 4th largest county in the United States. You'll also gain experience that can lead to a role on specialized teams like jail intelligence or special response, a leadership track, or a career as a recruit training officer. Every path comes with unlimited potential. Learn more at jobs.mcso.org. Honor the law, serve the people. Sponsored by the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office.
This is Brad Musburger. Don't miss Betting Across America, Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Just the Tip says one of the greatest games ever. Props to Canada. If anyone has a problem with Canada winning, you're probably a jerk. Well, I don't have a problem with Canada winning, but I'm just not going to listen to somebody say they were the better team. That's all. But yeah, fair enough. They won the game, scored the last goal, and that's all that matters. And they're great players.
Congratulations to Canada. A great series, 2-game series between them and the United States. And I think all out, it was a wonderful change of pace instead of the normal all-star game to have this sort of World Cup, if you will, of hockey. Of course, it didn't have all the, all the nations involved, but I thought it was a lot of fun
primary nations that play in the NHL. So it does make sense. If the most of your players are from Sweden, Finland, Canada, and the United States, well, then that's what you do. If Russia stops, doing what they're doing, then it'll be the 5 nations face off. I don't know how they change the structure of it for 5 nations, but there were players missing. If we're honest, I don't. Here's the thing, man. I get it when the politics come in, and I remember when Carter just said, "Guess what? We're not going." I can't do his voice. I don't remember how he sounds. Peanut Farmer said, "We're not going to the Olympics because of the Russians."
We're not going over there with Russia and what they're doing.
He didn't talk like that. He didn't. He talked.
I was thinking of President Carter right before he died.
Oh, I see.
Oh.
I think I just nailed it. Well, and he's like, "Oh, we're boycotting because them Russians there, we're not going to go because they're going, and they shouldn't be going because they're doing bad, evil things." And so we didn't go for a year, one of the Olympics. And it's like, all right, I guess if Olympics, if politics are coming into this, all right, fine. I guess that's just the way it is. And so I think, politics again has influenced the sports in a way. And, but, everybody shook hands at the end of it. Everybody was cool at the end of it. So although Justin Trudeau, he got on the Twitter. He says,
of course he did.
You can't take our country and you can't take our game. Dude, we've won the Stanley Cup with American teams more often, I think, than the Canadians in a long, long time. Correct me if I'm wrong. We took your game.
Yeah, correct.
We 100% took your game. It just, we also had to take your players to do that.
If you want to look at it, lately it's been Tampa Bay and Florida, Boston, Chicago. Those have been your Stanley Cup winners as of late,
And by the way, we didn't boo the second time when they won. There was no booing, so there was respect in the form of people that already left. So
I'm proud of the fans out there. I'm very proud of the fans out there. Way to be respectful. Way to be classy. Way to not stoop down to the level of those in Canada that wanted to boo the United States. So good for you. And we move on. Very classy, especially out of a crowd in Boston, right, Jeffrey?
Yeah, that was a surprise. Yeah, that was a surprise.
To expect class out of Boston is really, really a step far. So I'm glad.
I was stunned when Phil said, "Not much booing." There's some, but not much. Bear Claw says, if the NHL includes Russia in the future All-Star games, someone in higher power would have a dilemma on which flag to hold when playing the United States. I see what you're saying. Silver Pop says, can't wait for the Olympics. So the Jamaican hockey team whoop everybody's asses.
Don't think Jamaica has a hockey team. They have a bobsled.
Well, I'm saying if they could have a bobsled team, they can have a hockey team. Hey, that'd be awesome.
Don't think they do.
Shut up. You're ruining the next movie.
Okay.
Baker's Cocky Hen says the next 4 nations should be U.S., Canada, Russia, and Ukraine.
It was
Ooh.
Cool Runnings for the bobsled team, right? That was the
Yes.
name.
Cool
So then would it be
Runnings.
Cool Puckings?
Cool Puckings. Or
No.
or how about this? Cool Puckers.
It would be Weak Ankles
No,
for
that's
the hockey team.
That's the Randy White story.
Oh,
Big George says, damn it, the Rockies just scored 4 runs to take a 10-6 lead in the ninth. Okay, I'm just going to
George.
stop you right there.
oh
Okay.
my gosh.
There's a new rule, George. In spring training, you're not allowed to talk about anything that has to do with firing Torey Lovello. Anything about the Diamondbacks losing. It's spring effing training. You
Yeah.
should be focused on what individual players are doing and how they're bringing guys through, and they're trying different things, and it's nothing to do with the score. They go out there, they do the best they can. Everybody in their positions is just doing it's like pre-season for football. You're trying different people, different things, different combinations. Do not send a fire Torey Lovello text. I don't want to hear about, oh my God, we lost a game. I don't want to hear it until the actual season starts. And then
Yeah.
you're not allowed to text for 10 games, fire Torey Lovello.
Wow. 10
games into
Double
the season.
digits, George.
Wow.
That is now the rule, Big George. That is the rule. I have just implemented a actual rule on Big George.
Dang.
Was I clear?
I don't know if he's going to
I
stand
think
for
you
this.
were.
And if
I
he
mean-
does, we'll have to look up to him.
Yeah, we always have to look up to him. He's 7 feet tall.
Well, yeah.
I feel like I was clear on this.
I think you were.
0% during spring training.
Yep. Yep.
10 more games into the regular season before you can say anything at all,
Mm.
especially about firing people.
But has he had this thought before? Has he wanted to fire Torey Lovello before? Because I don't think
many
it's
times.
okay. So then why? So then if he's had this before, why is there a beginning? Because if it would
Because
be
it's a brand new season, and I'm not gonna take it. We're not doing it.
Okay.
George says, "Didn't I say nice things about Corbin Burns pitching well today? I'm not talking about you saying nice things. You're more than welcome to say nice things." He says, "Did I say fire Torey Lovello? I didn't. No, but I know it's coming. If not today, tomorrow, the next day." So I'm just saying, we know you, George.
Yep.
And I'm making this a rule now. Please follow it.
So it's 10 games into the baseball season. What is
Yes.
it for the NFL? Is that is the equivalent 2 games in the NFL?
I don't know. I mean, there's like
Because if you do
there's
the math,
80 games.
so 100, no,
87 games? How
Yeah.
many games? How many games are there? 126?
100, yeah,
162 baseball games.
I had the numbers right. They just weren't in order.
So then-
162.
So then you are not allowed to say fire the NFL head coach until you are a game and 3/4 in.
I'm not. You can't compare baseball to.
Did Phil just do that math in his head?
In my head. Now, don't ask me
Who's
what.
going to question him if it's right?
Wow.
Yeah. Now, don't ask me at what time during the third quarter, but certainly by the fourth quarter, if they're behind, fire. Like get the guy out.
3:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, right now, is it still going on? Cubs lead the Dodgers 7-3.
I mean, we
I
can't.
know it's spring training, but
Yeah, I mean, it feels good to laugh, but it's still it's the same thing, though, Randy.
I know.
We can't laugh too hard at them if I just put restrictions on George for.
Now, can George say fire Dave Roberts at any point during the season?
No,
Sure.
he
No,
never
okay,
does.
okay.
He never does.
Mr. Wilbert says, "Fire Phil, quit arguing."
Wow.
That's part of the show is to argue.
Is it?
It is for me.
Let's see.
Well, that
The
explains a
Diamondbacks-
lot.
The Diamondbacks today in this spring training game
Mhm.
have used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pitchers.
Woo! See what I'm
Each-
saying?
Each of them throwing 1 inning.
Preseason. It's spring training. It's the same thing.
Well, I think one moment, though, that will be a standout during spring training is when Shohei starts to pitch. That will be something. Is he going to pitch during spring training, or is he going to
I
the
thought you
middle of the
said when
season?
he starts to pitch. I was like, how would you know? I
Well,
mean,
he's
I can't
very-
understand a thing he says.
He's a very kind of laid back cat. I don't think he pitches very much
Did
at
you
all.
say
Phil.
pitch or pitch?
It fluctuates.
So what were you saying?
Whenever he does decide to pitch, that will probably be the biggest intrigue moment of the entire spring training to see. How does he look? Is he really rusty? Is he even better than before? Yada yada yada.
He can't tell anything. You can't tell anything in spring training, right, Randy?
Yeah, because
I
you're
know.
doing wonky
Well,
pitches. You're trying to see what you can get away with.
What you can do is you can see some of the young talent and how they're doing and how close they are to moving up. You can see how the guys are progressing through spring training. In my opinion, the best time to go to spring training is the last week of spring training before they break camp and head for their respective stadiums. So you go out there, and that's when the starters play the longest, and that's when pitchers are really going deep into games, and they pretty much have their lineup set. They pretty much have their rotation set, and you're watching basically your major league team on the field. You're not seeing any weirdness going on, unless it's like a blowout game where it's like 15-1 in the fourth, and he'll start pulling all those guys out. Why keep them out there in a blowout game like that and bring in some youngsters from the minor league field and have them play? So,
well, my rule stands regardless.
Yeah.
10 games into the regular season before George is allowed to say anything about Lovello. And he says that George says double standard. If we can't look at the Diamondback scores, the Dodger scores are irrelevant. No, you're absolutely right, but it's fun to laugh at the other guy. That's all. You know, I'm just saying, I don't want any Diamondback negativity from you until 10 games in. Not the 10th game, the 11th game. That's the rule.
The law of the land is laid down.
Just the Tip says, he says, this retiring thing is tough. I love my 500 rounds down range, but my hot girlfriend and I both know it goes real bad. I'm hitting what I aim at. Oh, he's talking about he's retired and he's just having some fun at the shooting range, that kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
I thought when he was talking with his girlfriend and
Like he sent her down range. No, that's not how that works.
Honey, go down there about 500 yards and catch these, will you?
Hold this. Just a little bit away from yourself. Just hold it. Slow-Mo Zoe says, just imagine if that game between United States and Canada had been in Philadelphia. Oof.
Yeah. Boston's like right on the line of being like, you don't want to be hated in this place because they will let you hear.
What if it would have been in like Nashville where they throw a catfish on the ice?
I don't understand why are they throwing the catfish on the ice?
Well, it's their thing. Like Detroit throws squid or octopus.
What triggers that again? A hat trick or
no? It's just
they just do it randomly.
Yeah,
oh, that's dumb as hell.
Yeah.
Navy Devil says most of the time we don't even know who's playing in spring training. Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be, unless you're going to go watch, right, Randy? If you're going to go see, you're like, oh, let's go see a spring training game. The last thing you're thinking is, oh, who they're playing. You're just like, let's go watch, let's go drink. Oh, who's playing them? Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I think everybody goes out there to enjoy the sun, catch a little baseball, visit with friends. Nobody's really out there for anything major. No.
Big George says, is it still okay to say fire Bobby Hurley? That guy needs to go.
Well, that's a different story.
He doesn't coach the Diamondbacks, George. I'm only talking about the Diamondbacks. And we're going to establish a rule for each sport where there is a limit. Yeah, you
a strict timeline.
Yeah. And so the NFL, if you're going to talk about firing coaches of, like, say, the Cardinals, how many games are in? 4 games?
Well, I mean,
that's again, we're talking unfair.
That's rough, man.
D-backs, if you're saying 10 games, that is so minuscule.
I like how you think there's equality in what we're doing here. It's just whatever I decide.
For the NFL, there's 17 games, so I'd say at least 7.
7.
Yeah,
Oh,
at least 7 games.
You knew Urban Meyer was a disaster 2 games in.
Well, I mean, you don't know if who's a disaster or not until about 7 games.
No.
This is the NFL we're talking about, guys.
I'm going to give you 4 games for the NFL. I'm going to give
you're easy.
10 games for the Diamondbacks and 10 games for the Suns.
10 games for the Suns?
Yeah.
10 games for the Suns feels right. It's 10 games for baseball that I can't get over. I feel like that's at least a 23 game observation.
The month of March.
I just don't know if George could do it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I feel like we're setting him up for failure there. All right, guys, 1 hour down and 2 to go. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers. T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with turbo power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Motorola Edge on us with 24 monthly bill credits and new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 per line connection charge. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
At Skechers, we put the S in comfort.
Wait. Skechers put the S in comfort?
Yes, comfort you have to feel to believe. Skechers, we put the S in comfort.
Let me try. Okay, I'm just stepping in and... Oh, wow. Skechers put the S in comfort.
Duh. We told you.
Find Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher, back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. As most of you might know, I'm a big fan of loyalty and longevity. I love companies based right here in Arizona that have been around doing some great things for a long, long time. And oh boy, has the Lund Mortgage Team done just that. In the mortgage game, they're one of the best. In fact, I think they are the best. And I've been telling people about the Lund Mortgage Team for decades now, and I'll continue to do that as long as they continue to take care of all our listeners, and they do that every single day. So you could be next. Call today, 623-875-9940. Look, the Lund Mortgage Team, they're mortgage brokers. That gives them the unique opportunity to shop your rate around. They've also been in business so long, they realize fees are not the most important thing. They keep those nice and low. Call today, 623-875-9940, whether it's a HELOC, whether it's a new home loan, refinance, you name it, they've got you covered. LundMortgage.com or call 623-875-9940.
Did you know that daily multivitamins boost your health on the inside and the outside? It's true. Multivitamins with folic acid boost energy levels, improve your mood, and promote overall wellness. And if you decide to have a baby, they can help prevent birth defects in a pregnancy. That's why the Arizona Department of Health Services is offering a free 3-month supply of multivitamins. Visit azdhs.gov/PowerMe A2C for free vitamins.
Sponsored by the Arizona Department of Health Services.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time for what?
Showtime. When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We also have Ralph from Harmon Solar with us. Phil, the fill-in, is in the control room, and no, Harris is not fired. He just had other engagements that he had to take care of.
Kicked him the hell out.
Yeah, okay. No, you couldn't kick him out. You would not have the heart.
No, he's a sweet guy.
Oh, that little guy, you can't do that. You guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And, we've been talking about, everything with a little bit of Canadian, hockey and a little bit of the spring training. Hey, Ralph, are you going to any spring training games?
I am, yeah.
Who are you going to go watch?
The Dodgers, of course. I want to go see the Reds.
Oh, I thought you had taste. All right. No, that's
Mariners.
Yeah. What is the purpose of going to a spring training game?
I think it's just to get the feeling of baseball back in your blood. I happen to know some people that play for the Dodgers. I know a couple coaches on the Reds, Mariners, so I go to see those guys as well.
No, and the scores don't matter. Nothing that happens matters other than watching the development of the young players, seeing how the chemistries work and all that kind of thing. Scores do not matter.
No, because there's nobody really playing that'll be playing. Most people that are playing in these games, you won't see till later in the year. So.
I mean, you'll see people even practice bunts out here. I mean, because this is the time to do it.
It's fun.
Latina Leprechaun says Ralph is now on the show. This show just went downhill.
Don't you have to go to the bathroom or something?
Get rid of the pro Dodger, Lakers, Seahawks, and get rid of that USC talk.
Ralph, when do you like to go to spring training games? If you're like somebody that is really into your team, your baseball team, when's the best time of spring training to go?
I mean, for me, I like to go in the beginning because I like to see a lot of the younger guys because they typically are the guys that are playing first. Like yesterday with the Dodgers Cubs, you had guys that all minor league guys that were throwing and playing yesterday. I like watching those guys to see what they have. But the Dodgers are different though, right? Because they're going to play up through about a couple weeks into March, and then they have to go to Japan. So it kind of throws their whole schedule off. Where typically a lot of guys like to go mid to late spring training because they start seeing more and more of the starters.
Mm-hmm.
Just depends on your opinions. I like to see the young guys.
And I don't know, but I don't know about Ralph,
you do,
but
Ralph.
I like to go. I tell you what, if I had the time, I would do this. I would go on watch these guys in the backfields.
I do that.
And see them hitting, batting practice, infield practice, working on bunting plays for that kind of thing. I love to watch that kind of stuff to see how these guys are working things through and the kind of coaching that they're getting. And it's really cool to see these guys because these athletes are just because they're in the major leagues doesn't mean that they don't get worked out at practice. And a lot of people don't get to see practice on a regular basis. So if you can get on a backfield somewhere, go early before the game, real early, like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning and watch these guys do their work, even watch the pitchers. I mean, if you can see the pitchers working out, that's very cool too, because you're up close and personal.
Oh, my son's friend's on the Dodgers. He's in the minor leagues, and we get to go to the backfields like when nobody else can go, and we get to watch that. It's like watching a 12-year-old team practice. There's no difference. They're doing all the basic stuff. They never stop doing it. So it's really fun to kind of get that insight and go watch back there and see all these guys that just got drafted and they're trying to earn their spots and figure out where they're going to go this year. So it was kind of exciting. He's getting ready. He's on a group of guys that's going to actually pitch in the major league games. So we're going to wait to see which game he's going to get into, but he's going to be pitching at some point in the next couple of weeks.
Beer Bob says, I don't know. You might have to give Big George a little bit of a break. If they start off 0-6, 0-8, I think Big George can call for Lavello's head. You want to keep him a gentle giant. No, man. Rules are rules. I got rules. Ralph, here's the new rule. I don't know if you heard. For Big George, who immediately jumps to fire the manager or fire this or fire that, he has to wait 10 games into the actual baseball season to text in fire anybody. And now he has to wait 10 games into an NBA season to fire anybody. And then I say 4 games into the NFL season before he can say fire anybody. Those sound reasonable, right?
I think those are good rules because he's a little off his rocker sometimes, especially on social media. But Big George,
I can't stop him there.
I'm going to tell you, Big George, the Diamondbacks should have a pretty good team this year. So there's no reason to even get down that road. They should be very competitive. And
we went to the World Series and people were even weeks before the playoffs fire Torey Lavello.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking Big George though. I mean,
no, not just George.
Oh,
not
isn't he a Cubs fan?
Yes.
Oh well, yeah. That's his problem.
Why? I thought he's a Diamondbacks fan and a Cubs fan. Ralph, like liking multiple teams.
No, I'm a Dodger fan and a Dodger fan. And a Dodger fan.
So one sport, you'll be faithful.
I'm very faithful. I've never cheated on my Dodgers.
He's a pure Dodger fan.
The only thing. Dodger Danny says best time to be at Camelback 9:45 a.m. when the players come out and they start playing in the back 2 fields.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You know, it is interesting to talk about firing managers and coaches, specifically talking to you, Ralph, because if there's a fan base here's the thing is that if there's a fan base that has been more upset with success, it has been the Dodgers, who are perennially have been trying to find a way to fire Dave Roberts, even though he had a World Series. And then now, of course, with this recent.
Please, are you kidding? I could manage the Dodgers and win a World Series.
Oh, that's not
See,
true.
now there's the thing.
I could manage the Dodgers and win a World Series.
Randy, you know it's not true.
Ms. Kim and I could manage the Dodgers and win the World Series. They
You could
probably would have won it more times than Davey Roberts
You know what?
has.
Bob Newhart could manage that in the Hampshires and also win a World Series. And guess what? He's dead.
You could have all the talent in the world. That doesn't mean a darn thing. Just ask the Suns.
So you're a
That's
Dave
true.
Roberts guy there, Ralph? You have
I've
been?
always been, and Randy will remember this from I think a year ago where he was talking about how Dave Roberts, because maybe 2 years ago, where people were calling for his head, and I said,
yeah.
absolutely not. This guy's a great manager, and it's very hard to manage a lot of talent. Look at all he's done in the time he's been there. It's been ridiculous.
The Jet would like a drink, Randy.
Oh, sure.
Baker's
What-
Cocky Hen says, I'd like to watch the pregame massages. They should allow that. Maybe
Hello?
we should have less, then you'd have less Watsons and Tuckers.
What?
There's more post game than pre game.
That feels a little more creepy, Baker's
Yeah.
Cocky Hens, than preventative.
Yeah.
Big George says Diamondbacks will always be number one above all. Cubs are my second, White Sox third, Padres fourth.
Oh my gosh.
Dodgers
Whoa.
are at the top of my crap list.
What a whore.
Yeah, George, you are kind of a baseball hoe. That's a lot of teams,
Damn,
man.
George, you're a whore, dude.
Do you have jerseys of the other ones, George?
Thongs, something.
Hats?
Thongs.
Padre thongs.
He's probably got thongs. I mean, he's
With
a whore.
George, he'd have to just buy a hammock online. He's 7 feet tall.
That's a big thong.
We're talking about sandals, right? Yeah.
Mysterio says, wasn't the whole Newhart show just a dream Bob was having with his wife, Suzanne Plachette? No, that's true. It was just a dream. But still, Boomer Sooner says, very proud of the Boston fans. Yeah,
Me too.
not everybody booed. A few
Yeah.
people booed, but
Only
not
a couple.
everybody booed.
Well, those are the ones that pre-gamed, so
Yep.
probably
Yep.
they had a little too much on board.
Well, we should know about pre-gaming. We pre-game
Yeah.
every show.
Well, that's true.
Hey, Ralph, let
Yeah.
me ask you a question. Did you see the game that the United States won over the Canada?
I did, yeah.
Did you see all the fights?
I did.
We won those fights, right? We started
Yeah,
and
pretty
won
well,
those
too.
fights.
Pretty well, too. Yeah. It was all planned. I mean, they had talked about how they had talked about it the night before, how they were going to go after a few different guys just to get the energy going.
It was premeditated.
Yeah, it was a good idea, too. That's a great idea in hockey. Is
Set the
get the fights
tone.
going. Yeah.
Got to set the
Set
tone.
the tone, get your adrenaline going, and then start playing hockey.
Because I was asked earlier if we won all the fights, and I thought we did. I saw 2 of the 3 fights, so I wanted to make sure.
We won all 3, and I think at the end of all 3, you saw U.S. players slamming the Canadian player to the ice.
Mhm. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that little move right there. I enjoyed that. Boomer Sooner says, well, I can't read the rest of what you're saying because we got the thinky wheel on you, so I'll come back. Silver Pop says, Georgia Ho of baseball, that is. Kind of like they say, Luca Ho. Big George says, I do have hats for all those teams. I even have a Boston Red Sox hat and an Angels hat.
What?
No, George the Ho.
What's wrong with you?
He's a Ho.
What?
Baker's Cocky Hen says, maybe they should have went after Connor McDavid in overtime. Just saying.
They did. They nailed him in overtime. That was one of the best hockey games I've seen in a long time.
There was just
was a
that
lot of
one
hitting.
moment
Lot of
where you
hitting.
leave Connor McDavid open and he just burnt you on it.
But they had about 3 moments right before that where they should have scored. That goal
Yeah.
for Canada
Oh,
was
yeah.
phenomenal.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
great. It was
Yeah,
great
some-
hockey.
there were some tricky shots, but also some great looks. And he was that guy was just on fire.
Oh yeah, he was. Great game.
Boomer Sooner says, best thing on TV this week was here it is, a replay of Chiefs versus Bills. I don't think so, Boomer. I
Is
feel like
he
last night was the best thing on TV this week.
By far.
Is
Here-
he a Chiefs fan or a Bills fan?
He must be a
Boomer
Chiefs
Sooner.
fan. Boomer also said they could have ripped into Canada, but they showed class, the Boston fans. It was a great
Yes.
game.
Yes.
So what? New guy quit already? Okay, guys, Harris has another sports-oriented job that he had before we hired him for this. So we knew there was going to be a bunch of days that he was going to take off. And so Filthy Phil, the fill-in, is filling in for the new guy.
Yeah, there's some overlap, and whenever the WWE calls, Harris answers.
Jeez, WWE. Maybe
Triple
the-
H
I-
answers.
I thought it was the mini one. He goes.
He
to.
wouldn't have gotten an interview.
The People's Harry.
The midget wrestling.
Yeah, I think he's
Excuse
part of
me?
that. He's part of that midget wrestling group.
Yeah, I'm not telling you until he comes back and says we can say what he's doing, because I don't feel like it's right to say.
Maybe he makes
without his permission.
Maybe he's making sports paraphernalia and thongs.
He's out there. He's out there scalping, I think, is what he's doing.
Mm.
Whistling Gerbil says, "I think I like this new guy, Hank. Is he a UFC fan? We'll have to ask him when he comes back."
Yeah.
Boomer Sooner says, "You're right. I try to get last thinky wheel. Well, I don't know what's up with you, Boomer Sooner, but I got a thinky wheel coming up the yeehaw." Hefty Lefty says, "I want to guess." Okay, he's a pickleball ref. No, I don't think that's it.
But he does have respect for the ultimate gentleman's sport.
Oh,
that is.
shut your face.
That would be Phil.
Do they have refs in pickleball?
Of course. Well, I
Sure
mean,
they do.
they don't have. We haven't advanced the technology a la tennis or anything else to where there's chips inside the ball to see where the ball goes out. So they need somebody to spot the line.
Not sure if I'm ready for chips in my balls.
Instead of one of those high, like lifeguard chairs, they sit in like a dining table chair.
No, they're actually like the wrestling refs, and they just slide across the court, and everything.
That is way more pickleball than we needed to talk about. And I blame you, Hefty
We met
Lefty.
our weekly quota.
Well, here we go. Last night, before we got off the air, we talked briefly about the Suns and the Spurs, and then Wembanyama, they've decided to shut them down for the winter. They've put the insulation on the pipes, and they've boarded up the windows, and and so we're like, wow, well, that's a game that the Suns should win. No Wembanyama on the Spurs, and what did I say? I said, well, the Suns usually find a way to lose these games that they should win. And that's exactly what happened. 120-109. What was that make our sixth loss in a row? This is just garbage.
Inexcusable loss. That is an awful
Fire
loss.
Torrey Lavello.
Yes.
Fire Torrey Lavello and Mike Hazen.
Yeah.
That is an absurd loss. They had no excuse, fully rested from the All-Star game. No Wembanyama. The whole team is moribund over losing their franchise player for the entire season. Yes, it's galvanizing. Yes, ballyhoo on the Spurs for coming together and reinforcing themselves to win. But for the Suns point of view, absolutely absurd loss. Shame on you. Shame on each and every one of you for not getting a win here. For a team without its defensive stalwart, had a clamp down effect on everybody in that. Oh,
Guys, they have no center presence whatsoever. They got rid of Yusuf Nurkic, and they can't fill that hole. Nurkic, for what he wasn't the greatest thing in the world, but at least he was a center, and he is now gone. And you've got guys like Mason Plumlee and Bol and Nick Richards, who are trying to fill that gap. And I don't think they're going to be able to do anything with it, even with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. And, oh, by the way, Bradley Beal is on the team too, although you wouldn't really know it.
No, I also found out something. Remember my favorite named player used to be on the Suns. Now he's on the Spurs. Bismack Biyombo.
Yes.
He didn't really do much for them either, but
that's the thing is that the Spurs lost their center. So I mean, they have a backup center for them. We have a backup center for us. That should have not equated for anything. I mean, yes, normally I would give them that excuse. This was one of those situations where it's all dead even, and the talent favored the Suns going into last night's game. It is absurd and an outrage that they lost last night.
Well, Chris Paul with his 2 steals passed Jason Kidd for second place on the NBA's all-time list. But Jason Kidd is still number 1 in NBA guys who beat their wives. He still holds that top spot. But
I didn't know he had that time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, it's well documented.
All right.
So yeah. All right. There we go. So what is going to happen? What change can they make from the top down? What can Ishbia do? What can James Jones do? What can Budenholzer do? What is the next thing they do? This can't keep going this way.
Plane crash.
There's a lot of those lately, but you can't plan for that.
It would change everything.
Well, I mean, everybody is talking. I'm talking about the media heads that are on TV. These guys are all talking like Kevin Durant is going away, and he might very well go away. I don't think anybody knows exactly what's good. What the plan is. Only those inside the Suns building know.
Well, they're just talking for talking's sake, and he's the most famous guy they can talk about.
But the bottom line is, I don't know what's wrong with Devin Booker. He's not having a great year. 41 minutes on the floor last night. He only put in 17 points. Clearly, that's not Devin Booker. I mean, this guy averages 23 to 25 points a game, and he's only putting in 17 points against a San Antonio Spurs team without Victor Wembanyama. So there's something clearly wrong here. And then you've got Bradley Beal, who poured in 19 points last night, and surprisingly was on the floor for 33 minutes. And then you've got Kevin Durant, who had 22. Guess who led the team in scoring for the Suns last night? I'll give you a second. Royce O'Neal. Royce O'Neal led the Suns in scoring last. Who the hell is Royce O'Neal, and why is he leading the Suns when you've got Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and you've got Bradley Beal on this team. Why is Royce O'Neal leading the team in scoring? There is your issue. The problem is these guys just have no passion. Well, they don't have any sort of idea of what they're supposed to be doing for some reason.
Don't we now have to take that to the coach?
I don't know that it's.
I think we need to take that to the coach.
I agree.
Because
how can this guy? How can Budenholzer be held responsible after one season when you've got
Buck
three
stops there? He's the boss. He's the guy who's managing the team. He's supposed to set the tone for that team. If he doesn't have a player that'll do it, it does land on his desk. These losses all land on his record. And you know, if he's just standing there watching this happen game after game after game after game, no, he does bear responsibility on this.
I tell you, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you just said it, Randy. You said he has 3 superstars. How does he bear them? That's why he has to bear 3 superstars and a 26-29 record. That's not acceptable. That's ridiculous.
Oh no, absolutely not. But can you call Bradley Beal at this point in his career a superstar? I think you can. Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's going out and playing ball. I mean, even though he didn't lead the team last night, most all the nights he leads the team in scoring.
He was busy arguing with Chris Paul.
Well, maybe so. But the bottom line is this team they have no idea. They have no clue. They have no identity.
And a father figure should be able to help get them there.
Well,
and that's
he's
the coach.
Not a father figure.
Well, I mean, whatever you want to call him.
I'll be your father figure.
Oh, dear God.
Ooh,
no.
Nice.
No. Please sit down. No, I don't. Don't shake the George Michael butt thing. I don't need this in my life.
God.
Ooh.
Don't faith it. Don't faith it.
Somebody bring me an earring.
No. So, I am going to put this on the coach. I am putting it on the coach. And if you have a guy who's not a player's coach, he's just a coach, well, then you got to get the guy who's the right coach for your players,
So, Jeffrey,
especially if we're stuck with them.
Jeffrey, your solution is 4 different coaches in as many seasons?
Well, that's another problem, isn't it? But right now, what else can you try? Because something has to be tried. We shouldn't have to, but something has to be tried because you can't keep going like this.
I've got to feel like Matt Ishbia is stuck at this point with Bradley Beal, and the only thing you can do to get out of this nightmare is to get rid of KD. And I don't want to hear anybody
KD.
calling
That's
up
happening.
here. Well, that's the only way they can get out of it.
Yep.
Bradley Beal can veto anywhere. This was a horrible, horrible deal for what we got as a player. I mean, that's the bottom line. This should have never been made. I don't know who made this deal, if it was Matt Ishbia wanting to bring in Bradley Beal, or if this was, the GM, or if this was, I don't know who thought this was a great idea, but it was clearly, it has hamstrung the Suns, and there's got to be a way to get out of it. The only way to do that is to pull back on the stick and get this airplane driving right in straight and level. And you're going to have to dump KD. You might have to dump Devin Booker as well and kind of blow this thing up and start from scratch.
Precisely right, Randy. Cold, hard truth. You got to sell it all, burn it down to the ground, and hopefully build what you had going into this. Whether that was with Monty Williams before they got Chris Paul, where they had a nice base there. They had a nice roster that just needed to add a superstar and hopefully get back to that at one point. Whether or not that's like going the Kenny Atkinson and the Nets deal, where all they needed to add was, again, KD, weirdly enough, and they had a nice roster around them that they just needed a superstar. That's the best that you can hope for right now, because next season, it's going to be bad either way. If you at least take your medicine now, you can restart and revamp the entire roster reset that you have before you.
Well, I think you should still keep Devin Booker. I think you can still achieve most of what you want to do and still keep him. But
He's just not the right guy, man.
All right, listen, there's a lot of people on the text line with a lot of opinions and thoughts about this. So let's do this. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll give everybody a voice. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Lowe's knows how to help you get the most out of your store run. That's why members save more with MyLowe's Rewards. Earn points towards MyLowe's money on eligible purchases. Get access to member-only deals and free member gifts. Plus, unlock free standard shipping when you reach Silver Key status. So what are you waiting for? Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-895-1414. That's 800-895-1414. 800-895-1414. Hungry for something exciting? Then come experience what's new at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse with 2 Valley locations. No one does Asian-inspired cuisine better or more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse, it isn't just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is prepared right at your table with flair. It's the perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire with their daily specials. Try their new $12 bar menu items, Wagyu beef and Mongolian pork sliders, chicken or beef satay, and 3 delicious flavors of chicken karaage. 2025 is on fire at Kasai with 2 locations, Scottsdale Road and Thunderbird, and now open in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppan.com. That's KASAI Teppan.com or search Kasai on your mobile phone.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Guys, I have some very important Weekend Warrior news. Are you leaving the show, Ralph? You wish, Neil.
Are you naming the show after me?
No, Phil. On February 15th, the Weekend Warriors are moving back to Saturdays. Will we talk about all kinds of sports again? Yep.
With an emphasis on Arizona sports.
For sure.
Will we interview interesting sports personalities?
Definitely.
And will we keep up the shenanigans that our listeners have come to expect from us?
More than ever.
Okay. You don't have to name the show after me then.
It's the Weekend Warriors moving back to Saturdays on February 15th.
From 10 to noon, right here on 1580, The Fanatic.
We're going to have a conversation about approving music.
That was great.
Of all the great George Michael songs, that's the one you want to play?
I want you to hunger for him.
Should have just played.
I want you to hunger for him.
Got to have faith, the faith, the faith. Faith would have been much more fun. Anyway, all these are songs I had to listen to while sitting on a school bus as a child. Yeah.
Your school bus driver was fun.
Well, I mean, we brought our own radio. So,
okay.
All right, everybody. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. I don't even remember the connection to the song. So it doesn't.
You were looking for a father figure and a coach, I believe.
No. Oh,
which I
for
think
the
is where
Suns.
we start to get in trouble.
For the Suns, yes. Okay.
The Suns are always looking for a father figure.
Well, that's great.
Thanks a lot, Phil. You can be replaced.
Donnie says, we're watching on YouTube. Where's the new guy? Did Jeffrey fire another guy 2 days in? I don't think I've fired anybody in it's been a while. It's been a while. I have fired many people.
I think it was pre-COVID last time you fired somebody.
No. Harris is still the guy. He just is working another job that he had a previous scheduled engagements, and he'll be back. So don't worry about it. Swave Dave says, hey, Jeffrey, isn't Kasai Japanese Steakhouse commercial? Isn't it an oxymoron when you mention chicken courage? That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying, Dave.
Chicken courage.
Courage. I'm not saying courage in a fun way.
He has a flair
Be
for the
brave,
courage.
have courage. No, just go read a book, would you? Killer Rabbit says, honestly, I'd hire Diana Taurasi as the new Suns coach. She hates losing. She would whoop these boys' butts. I'm all for that
Well,
idea. Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe that Kevin
Anything,
Durant.
anything.
I can't believe he loves losing. I don't think Devin Booker, enjoys losing. I don't think that. I don't think Bradley Beal enjoys losing. But for the life of me, I can't figure out why these guys just can't get along. If that's the issue, or why they can't figure. These are veteran players. It's not like this is a young team. It's not like this team hasn't played in the NBA before, or it's the first, 3 seasons of their career, like some of the other, young teams in the NBA. This is a veteran team.
They got their
These
lunch
guys are
boxes.
supposed to know what's going on.
They got their lunch boxes. They got the thermos. They're showing up for work, but that's all it is. That is all it is. And there's no passion. There's no drive, and there's no leadership. And if you can't get leadership from the players, where are you going to get it? Cardinal Art says, what I see from the bums, I mean Suns, KD is so focused on arguing with the opponent. He's this was just that game.
Yeah, that was just Chris Paul.
He's messing up his rhythm by taking unnecessary shots, and D-Book is not using his "this is my team" leadership by holding everybody accountable and playing the game. And Bud, he's got to find a better rotation. KD is out of here next year. Well, that's interesting. That is interesting what you're saying about Devin Booker. So I wonder, I mean, he's a veteran, but he's not a Kevin Durant veteran. So I wonder if he's like just puppy peeing on himself with respect and not saying anything about anything. Well, you know what I'm saying? He's being submissive.
But Jesus.
But he's not a leader. That's not who he is. That's not his personality.
Yeah,
Never has been.
And it needs to be, because he is that player that should be due to the fact that he is a franchise drafted player. He's been there his entire career. It would be the same as if somehow Saquon Barkley came in, and he's not this guy, but he was he tried to take the leadership role away from Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, no matter, even if he's not the best player at his position, that Saquon Barkley certainly is in the NFL, Saquon Barkley will always acquiesce to Jalen Hurts because he's their franchise player. Obviously, the position that he stands for, a quarterback, is a natural leadership position. And Devin Booker should, by all accounts, be taking up that leadership role, because Kevin Durant doesn't need to fulfill that role. Certainly, in whether that be in his the stage of his career that he's in, or whether or not the fact that he's more of a mercenary type. Either way, Devin Booker should be fulfilling that role more so than Kevin Durant.
Jonesy says KD and Book just like to smoke pot and hoop. No cares in the world, and that's about it. Oh, I didn't know Booker did that. I know KD does that. I didn't know Booker did that. Boomer Sooner says, hey, newsflash, Caitlin Clark texted Dejan from the Eagles, both Iowa grads. Next power couple. What are you, 16-year-old girl, Boomer Sooner? What
She has a boyfriend.
Yeah, she already has a boyfriend.
Where are you getting this? What do you? That was just not even on my radar at all. I mean, well, why is she texting him if she has a boyfriend?
Well, if they're both from Iowa, probably just like, hey, one Iowa successful grad to another.
Yeah, it's that Midwest thing.
Like, congratulations, or is this a slipping into the DM kind of thing?
I doubt it.
I don't feel better even knowing that. T-Licious says, Suns suck. Oh, I can't read that. Let me go past all the other stuff. Suns suck. Retracted. Period. March Madness in baseball is upon us. Basketball. That being said, go Cubs and suck it, Ralph. I can't agree with anything you just said. Suck it, Ralph.
Part.
Yeah, suck it, Ralph.
Okay.
Suns do suck. I can agree with that. March Madness is coming and baseball is coming. I agree with that. Basketball? No, I don't agree with that. And Cubs? No, I don't agree with that. So, anyways, thanks, T-Licious. Hey, at least you weren't talking stupid crap about those horrible 49ers. Dr. Roadmap says the Scuns.
Well, they do stink.
The Suns need a spark plug like Allen Iverson, AI.
I'm sure he's available if you want to have him on the team.
No, they need a leader. They don't have a leader. That's what they need.
That is truly what they need. I think.
Am I wrong that a coach should be able to be the leader here?
He should be a partial leader, but they need a floor leader. They need somebody on the floor that can lead the team. They don't have that.
Yeah, the coach in theory should be, but also you always fall back into the thing of he can't perform what he's putting out on the play. His job is to put you in the best positions to succeed. If you need extra motivation, if you need accountability, that should be coming from within the players, because that's why they have players only meetings. Because as much as you want the coach to be a leader, and sometimes they assert themselves to be
I don't
so,
think they care enough to be having a players only meeting.
yeah, no, I don't think so either.
It looks like they've given up. What they need is LeBron James, and for one price of KD,
You
you'll
stop
get
it.
that.
You stop it.
I was going to love seeing
You
KD in a
stop
Laker
that.
uniform next year, and LeBron in a
No,
Suns
you
uniform.
stop that. That is not going to happen.
Matter of fact, you can have Bronny too. We'll give
Listen.
you Bronny and LeBron.
Well, then
two
the
for
deal's
one.
off. But
2 for 1.
hey, LeBron did have another historic 40-point night
He's amazing.
with the Lakers. No, it's never. My hatred for the Lakers has nothing to do with how I feel about LeBron. I don't care for the man, but I think he's just an amazing player. He's a beast and a monster. I don't know how much longer he can keep this going, but 40 points at the age of, what is he, 58? I mean, my God.
But if you had him on the Suns, they would be the number 1 seed right now.
Hmm.
No doubt.
I will say this:
Straight
that,
swap.
You got to give props to LeBron because he put that up at his age, 40 points on the second night of a back-to-back.
Yeah, this was against the Blazers.
Well, it was against the Blazers, but it was the second night of a back-to-back at 40 in the NBA. How long has LeBron been playing? I mean, to me, I think that's impressive.
Oh yeah.
I think that's wonderful to know about. No, LeBron can't come to the Suns.
So you see LeBron do this, and you see him get as many points as he is old, and then you look over here and they were like, "Hey, happy birthday, Nikola Jokic! What did you do for your birthday?" He says, "Nothing. Turning 30 made me feel sad." Like, you can just shut all the hell up.
Of course, I was that sad.
Because he's like sad he's getting older. He's like, I don't know. I don't really want to think about it. It makes me sad. I'm getting older. I'm not young anymore. I better get a step stool. I'll strangle your ass.
I'll help you.
Might need to. He's pretty tall.
Just
I'll climb your leg all the way up to your neck like a spider monkey, Jack.
Just take this man down. Talking 30, dude. That's 24 years ago for me. You know,
23 for me.
Now is the time you feel sad. You're a liar. You're very old. But no, Jokic, I mean, I get it. Everything's relative to where you are at that point. I got married at the age of 21 because I thought, oh my God, look at how old I've gotten. What have I done with my life? I better settle down.
Wow, that was stupid.
I know.
Gosh, that's stupid.
Yeah,
Wow.
I know. But when you're there, you don't realize that. I really thought, is like, man, I'm just kind of looking around at my life. I'm like, geez, what am I doing here?
This will be my only marriage. I think.
Well, that's what we always hope for. So the point is, at whatever age you're at, you don't realize how good you got it.
It's true.
How young you still are. Like right now, I'm 54, and I know it's still pretty young compared. You know, I've seen all these guys that I grew up watching on TV and the music and stuff. Decrepit is the word. And all these people just, oh my, what happened to Tom Hanks? Did somebody deflate him? Did somebody let the air out? Because he just doesn't look like Tom Hanks anymore.
Did you see Tiger Woods yesterday?
Oh, he looks rough too, doesn't he?
I'm like, what happened?
Yeah, that hat does a lot of help on him. Like when he takes off the hat, that's when you notice, whoa, Tiger's not Tiger anymore.
Do you find yourself and your wife having conversations you used to hear your parents have?
All the time.
Right? I do that now. I find we're talking and I'm like, this
My
is
wife
stuff I
doesn't
used to hear.
drink and she's not Irish. So,
But I mean, you know how your parents would talk about these things that just weren't important? They talk about the weather tomorrow, or they talk about something on a show. Or
oh, we do.
Dude,
yeah,
I'm 63, and before I came on the air, I was watching the Weather Channel. So give me a break.
Yeah, but you're a meteorologist.
You're a
It's different.
meteorologist. You
I
got
am a meteorologist.
weather
Yeah,
certificate
okay,
in
we'll
your
go with
office.
that. You know, it's funny. We talk about the weather and certain things. That yeah, you're right. You're like,
Start listening to your conversations. You start going, oh my God, I'm my parents.
It hit me when for Christmas I got excited. I say again, I got excited when somebody gave me a crock pot. Like the moment I really, I was like, oh wow, you know what I can
use this.
Oh wow.
You want to hear the ultimate? Bird feeders.
Bird feeders.
Yeah, I have no interest. Thank God.
We got bird feeder in the yard, and then we got a hummingbird feeder. And I actually got excited when I saw the ones that have cameras. I'm like, oh, this would be amazing.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. What has happened to me? Birds are cool, man. And the little hummingbirds come up and I'm like, I filled that.
Hey, you know what? That is something that you and your dog will enjoy, though. That is like a bonding experience for you and your dog. You'll both enjoy watching the birds on the camera.
Oh, the dogs still chase every single bird. And I had to put a fence around where the bushes are in the back wall. I had to fence in those bushes because Bebo would trim them. And he'd make little tunnels he could run through. And he was starting to mess up the irrigation. So I put like a chicken wire fence to stop them from going behind there. Well, the small birds have figured that out. And so they sit behind the fence and they taunt the dogs. The dogs lose their mind, and the bird's like going, "Hey, you can't get me! You can't get me!" And then all of a sudden, Bebo just leaped a fence, and the birds were like, "Oh God!" It was the most amazing thing. But see, that story right there just tells you everything you need to know. I guess
it is. It is.
I spent a lot of time looking out that window.
See, you're getting old.
Jesus Christ,
we're all getting old.
Yeah, there's no stopping it. It's just when it starts, when you look around, you start to go, "Oh my God, that guy is old." I'm like, "Oh
shit, I will do."
Can I tell you how it works? Can I tell you the worst is Kurt Warner? I'm a year older than Kurt Warner, and I'm looking at him going, "Oh my God, look how gray and old he is." I'm like, "Oh damn it, damn it. It's the same thing with me now." Swave Dave says, "Wait until you start saying, 'Oye, my limbago.'"
Sure, I'll ever say that, but
I don't know if I could say that either. I don't even know what it is. Slow Mo Zo says, so what does it say about the league? When a 40-year-old man can score 40 points.
He's
very,
not.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
not
very
real.
much an exception. I mean, even
even
he's an
playing
exception.
defense on him, he's going to exert his will.
Yeah, and plus, again, his defense has dropped. You can see that is where it's not like you can see that there isn't a drop off in certain areas. I mean, look at Steph Curry. Steph Curry is doing everything he can, but he certainly is not the physical specimen that LeBron James is. And this year, he has far more non-30 plus points scored a game than he has ever had in his career. He is not able to do the same thing, and he is aging almost as gracefully. Like, his game will age gracefully. He will always be able to shoot the ball. His game wasn't predicated on athleticism, but even for him, you can see where he's aging and where he eventually will decline to a point. LeBron James, just pure athlete. I think maybe the best athlete we've ever seen. Again, just pure athlete. We can have a discussion on basketball player or whatever, but just pure athlete. I think he may be the best athlete we've ever seen, and this is just a generational thing.
Yeah, but Jordan was better. Baker's Cocky Hen says, was DeAndre Ayton the most passionate of all the Suns? That's a dumb thing to say.
Wow.
You know better than that. It was absolutely Chris
he
Paul.
ain't looking too bad right now, though, is he?
It was Chris Paul. That was the guy who was the rudder during those years. Moldy Tuna Fish says, I agree with Ralph. The Suns need a leader. I was also saying that, Moldy Tuna Fish.
I was just
very astute, you, Ralph.
He says a dictator like Stalin, Hitler, Castro, someone will exterminate those who don't agree with him.
I agree.
Is Chris Paul still available?
I'm sure he will be after this season.
That was a long way to go for that.
Yeah. He will be after this season.
Cardinal Art says Luka just put 5 more years on LeBron's career. CK says, good afternoon, fellas. Randy, beer me. Coach is about the 4th thing wrong with the Suns. They have 0 leadership. Randy, how was the birthday hot beef injection?
I didn't have any hot beef injection.
And he says,
I enjoyed a nice tortellini soup, though.
Ooh, that's nice. He also says, I thought I heard a bandwagon. Hey, suck it, Ralph. Los Toby says, do we have to give a state to Canada since we lost? I vote New Jersey. No, I vote Missouri. Give them Missouri. We don't need Missouri. I think it should be a border state, though. To be
Minnesota. I'd give Minnesota.
They can have Detroit back. Moist One says, the best meteorologist in the business.
Thank you.
Bruno Baller says, speaking of the weather, we might have a record heat coming up. Can Randy give us an update? I promise he'll do that in the next segment. Killer Rabbit says, here in North Carolina, we love the Weather Channel. No, that's true. You have to watch it.
Yeah. Certain places you can't. No, we have a luxury here.
Save your life. My mom, she's definitely checking in on that. Chosen One says, if you're talking best athlete after Michael Jordan, it's Serena Williams and Michael Phelps. They need to enter this conversation.
Michael Jordan is not the best athlete. You can talk about
he's the best player.
Yeah, best basketball player. That's a different discussion. But best athlete, that is not Michael Jordan.
I don't know. I mean, there's other people you can put up against LeBron James.
Serena Williams.
Michael Jordan, I'm going to say, is the best player. So, but we got to take a break. Yeah. We can pick this back up when we return. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there too to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Did you know that vitamins are your partners in health, not just inside, but outside too? These nutrients are key to our daily well-being. And for anyone who can get pregnant, folic acid is a must for preventing birth defects, helping you have a healthier pregnancy. The Arizona Department of Health Services is offering 3 months of free daily vitamins with folic acid. Power your health inside and out. Get your free vitamins at azdhs.gov/PowerMeA2C.
Sponsored by the Arizona Department of Health Services.
Your home has gone way up in value, but have you taken advantage of it? This is Rob Canier with a phenomenal opportunity to tap into some of your home equity, earning tax-free income and eliminating your mortgage payment while staying in your home as long as you want. With home prices leveling off, don't wait to learn more about the new reverse mortgage. This is a safe and proven money-saving and tax-free income opportunity for homeowners age 62 and older. Call me, Reverse Rob, and learn more today at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
The Valley of the Sun will roar to life this spring.
This ought to get pretty wild here.
Why is that, you may ask? Because NASCAR is coming to Phoenix, and it's going to be a weekend of good vibes the whole family won't forget. The best-in-class fan experience meets racing's toughest drivers for 3 days of action on and off the track, all surrounded by the beautiful Estrella Mountains. NASCAR weekend at Phoenix Raceway, March 7th through the 9th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
Your home for sports.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Well, I guess it would be nice if I could touch your body. I know not every
Okay, so you're gonna have to turn that off. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. So here's the thing, a couple of things. That's the last time you play a song without talking to me about it first. The other part is we don't play the lyrics when we do it on the show. We just play the music, because then we can talk over it, because I don't like interrupting people when they're talking unless it's you guys.
But it didn't feel like you would get the full faith unless you got the, well, it must have been nice.
Nah, you should have queued it up to the chorus.
Yeah, I guess what.
I liked it. Randy left in protest. 888-368-1580. And Baker's Cocky Hen says, didn't Chris Paul go after DeAndre Ayton when Ayton tried to stand up and be the leader? They shut him down instead of embracing him. Well, I don't remember anybody saying that.
I do remember that Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton certainly had their own clashes, but it was more so wrapped in the theme of DeAndre Ayton is the problem. I mean, really, Suns fans were upset with Ayton as well. Yeah.
He had a Gen Z tude.
Right, he just had a tude. I don't know if it's Gen Z, but yeah.
Well, isn't he Gen Z? Or is he a millennial? I don't even know. He says, what could have been? Or we could have lazy Luca. Dodger Danny says, it's okay, Ralph. Nobody likes a winner. We're not crapping on the Lakers at that moment. We weren't crapping on LeBron. I'm actually saying he's a beast. It's a beast. But
he's right. Nobody likes a winner.
He's on the Lakers, so burn in hell, Lakers.
See?
Slow-Mo Zoe says, Booker reminds me of Pippen. Great number 2, but not a leader. That's an interesting. Now that is an interesting parallel. Pippen was a really great player on his own, by himself. But when him and Jordan were together, man, that was it. So yeah, I guess if Devin Booker is a Pippen, he needs him a Michael Jordan.
Yeah, it's even like Pau Gasol. Like it doesn't even Pippen is probably the poster boy for this, but there are tons of players that are just far better suited to be the number. Even Anthony Davis. I mean, if we look at random or recent occurrences, there are players that are like the best number twos, and that's probably where they're best suited. But as a number one, as the number one guy, not the best.
But Anthony Davis would have been better on this team than Kevin Durant because he's more of a leader than Durant is.
Well, also, I mean, a fit stylistically, where you have a defensive maven over there as opposed to another guy who needs the ball in order to do what he does effectively.
Moist One says, heard that music, got sudden urge to go to an airport bathroom. Boomer Sooner wants to know, hey, Ralph, can I put solar on my Kia?
On your car?
I won an award when I was in high school when I did this, or no, not high school, middle school, and did the science fair. I said, what if we did solar panels on top of cars one day?
You would need so many, it would crush the car, especially a Kia.
They sell thin film solar panels that basically are flexible and light that you could actually do that with.
But you couldn't generate enough to run the vehicle.
No, not at all. So I'm not really sure what they do it on RVs all the time, right? RVs have solar. But they do it for all the stuff inside.
Right.
Sure, you could do anything.
Well, there's a car company that is at least designing single-person little vehicles that run without battery. It's just the solar power is what powers it.
Yeah, with a tiny motor.
Right. It's not practical yet, but they're working on it. So
I mean, they're working on flying cars. Everything's being worked on.
Flying cars are a hugely bad idea. We can't keep planes in the air lately. CK says, "What the hell was that song? I miss Keon." You see what you've done?
Wow.
You see what you've done?
Did Keon just let the music play out?
It was the music he played.
Let the music play. Thank you.
Oh, you shouldn't have done that.
Don't get away.
He's going to find that song and play it.
So, how's Bobby Miller feeling today? Is he all right? Anybody checked on him?
That guy's a stud. He
My
actually stood
God.
up. Do you see him stand up and walk off?
Card accreditation and then some. He got struck right in the noggin, 106-mile-an-hour baseball right to his head, drops to the mound. Later, he's like, I could have gone back in, but he walked off. Remember you were 25 years old, made of rubber, and you could survive something like that. Man, if I got hit by, let's say this was a 106-mile-an-hour baseball, if I got hit by a 20-mile-an-hour baseball, I'm going to go home now. I'm just going to go home. Don't call me for a while. I've been taking the phone off the hook. I might get in a bath, and I haven't gotten in a bath since I was a child. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Just don't feel like being in a stew of my own filth. Showers for me.
Yet again, another example of why we should in baseball, we should have the pitcher protection helmets that they already have in softball.
They have the pitcher protection hats that they have, but nobody wants to wear them because you look like the great Gazoo when you have this giant helmet looking thing on.
Well,
they have it.
My son wears 2 pieces of carbon fiber under his hat. On each of the temples.
Now, is that for the aliens or is that for the game?
It's for both. It's because if you get hit in the temple, you're pretty much going to get killed. So it covers his temple. It'll save his life. But I think Miller got hit more right to the right side of the forehead.
It was just over the right eye. Yeah, it was on his forehead. Just
how
over
that
the
didn't
right eye.
crack his skull or cut him is amazing.
Oh, it was a solid hit, and the guy got all of it. I mean, he laced it, and Miller had you could see the egg forming when he was walking off the field. But certainly a man. He was a man. He took it in stride. So good for him.
Damn Manley making jokes, walking off the field on his own power after that. Holy crap. But that's one of those things that happens. It just does. And in football, people getting CTE all the time. So getting the great kazoo helmet, that makes sense. In baseball, it happens now and then. So I understand these guys being a little slower to putting on some sort of protective gear if it looks silly. It's just
but it's
they gotta get okay with it.
It's a stupid pride thing. It's the same thing as in basketball. Why nobody's gone to the guy who's the number one field free throw percentage in history. He did it like granny style, like he did it with underneath the legs and kind of popped it in there, and it doesn't look very flattering. But you know what? If I'm hitting 100% on my free throws, I don't care. I could be wearing a pink tutu out there, and I wouldn't care because people would love that I'm getting 100% on free throws.
You wouldn't have to wear the tutu. We'd just assume you had one.
Right.
Sure.
I don't think it's pride, Phil. I think as a pitcher, and my son's a pitcher, you don't want that weight, that weirdness on your head, because pitching is a very exact science. There's a feeling to it. And you can't alter the things that you do by wearing a hat. Like those hats are ridiculous. The little carbon fiber pieces, I think those are a great idea. I think a lot of guys use them. You just don't know about it because you don't see them. But those hats were ridiculous. They're too big, bulky, and
it's a good point. People will use the safety measures if it you can't tell if somebody's wearing a cup. I mean, unless you're really looking, Phil.
I am a professional in telling you who is and who is not.
Well, keep that to yourself.
I mean, you could always tell when I was wearing a cup. Hello. Wow.
Woo! So, if somebody's wearing carbon fiber under a hat or some sort of a helmet, it's not a big deal. I've seen what some of the pitcher protection helmets look like. What I don't see is a whole lot of pictures of dudes wearing them.
That's the thing. Is that I think you're right, Jeffrey, in that it is far more infrequent that like you're constantly getting CTA possible potential hits in football. So therefore it makes sense, right? The Guardian caps that they have in football that they're utilizing now for the first time, you kind of see it populate more throughout. But for pitchers, even though it's far more infrequent, the fact that it is possible and that it's just the one that'll get you and like an eyeball can pop out that you could paralyzed and all this stuff and it's messing with the noggin. I don't see why you would not take that extra layer of protection. And to your point, Ralph, if that is truly the case, which at least makes more sense to me than it's just the pride, then we should be implementing this in youth leagues. We should be making sure.
They are starting to get that into the Little League baseball. Yeah. And that was a lot of the intent of it. Now, as I'm scrolling here, I'm looking at these helmets and I'm seeing these guys. There are a couple of pitchers that you see wearing them. Alex Torres, and some other guys, but they're not that dumb looking, to be honest. They're a little bit weirdly shaped, but if you make them look a little bit cooler, maybe more guys will wear them. But when you try to make it look like just a regular baseball cap, that's when it looks stupid. But if you make it kind of look kind of cool and kind of shape it like sports car shape, like
why don't you modify
like a bicycle helmet kind of look to it, maybe that would change the way some of them look at it. What does your son feel about these things? Because he's a pitcher.
He doesn't like the hats at all. I've actually tried them before. They just don't feel right. Like I said, the carbon fiber piece works really well, and it gives him the protection he needs. And, honestly, for pitchers, if you really think about it, especially youth, it's not even about the face. It's about really, for them, it's a chest. A lot of youth pitchers they've gotten hit in the chest and actually died.
The Hamlin.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, but that's a tough one to wear a coverage for. If you're going to have the NAD to get on a mound and pitch from 60 feet, 6 inches from a guy that's going to hit a ball 100 plus miles an hour, you can't overthink this. You just got to go and do it. You got to trust, and you just got to trust your reactions and just pray. I mean, it's part of the game.
Overthinking to put on at least some sort of you can have some sort of a vest under your.
You really can't.
You can have something.
I'm telling you,
it's
they have
difficult. The thinnest of Kevlar.
The way that you have to move and the emotions that you have to make.
Listen, look at me. If you have it under there, but it doesn't affect the arms, let's just say it just sort of hangs off the front of you, then at least you'd have some protection in that to your chest.
But it's more than just about the arms. It's the entire motion that you do as a pitcher. It's everything in your torso. It's up top. You can't have any kind of restriction up there.
So it's all got to be soft.
It has to. You got to be flexible. You got to be able to move. Because it's all about, once you land that strike foot, it's all about your torsion and all about getting that thing going around to bring that ball. And if there's anything on there messing that up, the littlest thing throws a pitcher off. It's just freaky to watch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing. Be safe in the ways you can be safe. Keep your head on a swivel and, understand there's risk in life.
And to your point, Jeffrey, I think that we could also, let's manify it, like for the pitcher's hat, like if it looks goofy to you, the NHL, the hockey, some of the best things in hockey visually are seeing all these goalkeepers with their customized like hockey masks for the goalkeeper. I'm like, that's really cool. Like, why we could do that.
I don't know that MLB uniform rules would allow that to happen.
Well, hell, did you hear the Yankees heard our show just the other day talking about how these guys should be able to grow beards, and they're like, okay, the blender said, so we're going to do it. They actually have changed the rules. You can now grow facial hair. Neatly kept facial hair on the Yankees. Yeah. You know what? Rotten hell, Yankees. I don't know why I'm happy about that. Anyway, all right. Listen, we got more to talk about, and we got 1 hour to do it in. That's right. 2 hours down, 1 to go. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
The Valley of the Sun will roar to life this spring.
This ought to get pretty wild here.
Why is that, you may ask? Because NASCAR is coming to Phoenix, and it's going to be a weekend of good vibes the whole family won't forget. The best-in-class fan experience meets racing's toughest drivers for 3 days of action on and off the track, all surrounded by the beautiful Estrella Mountains. NASCAR weekend at Phoenix Raceway, March 7th through the 9th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
A career in law enforcement puts you on a course with unlimited paths. At the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, your career can take you virtually anywhere you want to go. Detention officer, deputy sheriff, and emergency dispatcher are just a few available career paths. As you gain experience, you may also earn specialized assignments or follow a leadership track. Pursue your passion and explore rewarding and exciting career opportunities with MCSO. Learn more at jobs.mcso.org. Honor the law, serve the people. Sponsored by the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Ralph from Harmon Solar joining us, Phil the fill-in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. I don't know what it is with these Dodger pitchers. I mean, you know, manly Bobby Miller taking a ball to the head at 106 miles an hour and getting up and walking away going, I could still play. Respect for that. But Dustin May, that's the opposite, I feel. Dustin May said he was pretty close to dying because he was eating a salad. Can I just tell you? I knew it. Salads are dangerous. No, I guess he I mean, he had just had the Tommy John surgery and flexed her tendon thing, and he was rehabbing, and he's here in Arizona, and he was just hanging out there. This is like back in July. He's eating him some salad, and he's like, and he got some lettuce stuck in his throat. And
lettuce?
Yes,
must have been iceberg lettuce because otherwise it's not that hard.
Had to be, but that here's the thing in lettuce. I love a good salad, but there's always that one kind of dodgy white chunk of like solid, colorless or then there's the big chunk of yellow, kind of like what
Decayed,
what the hell is
it's
that?
An aged, experienced lettuce. Yeah,
I picked those out, but no, not Dustin May. He just went right through it, and he's like, he was just like, it's like, oh! He's like, he felt lettuce stuck in his throat, and he tried to like drink some water, and he was just like, oh God, this. And then he had this mega painful sensation in his throat and his stomach for like 15 minutes. And so he goes, he's like, oh, better go to urgent care. But he was like, oh, it went away. So he went home, and he was like, okay, I figure it was all right. And his wife was like, no, you got to go get checked out. And it's a good thing because he would have died because he ended up with he said, basically, I had a full abdominal surgery to repair the tear in the esophagus. And, the esophagus isn't just in your neck. It goes all the way down to where your stomach is. So that was inside there where the tear was, not up here. It was down here. And so they said, yeah, it was weird. It became a uncommon food impaction. It perforated his esophagus. So they had to cut him open like from lower chest down to his stomach and go in there and get this and repair the damage. And that surgery, then they're like, yeah, that's going to be 6 months of recovery there. And he wasn't allowed to lift 10 pounds. So,
and again, we're talking lettuce. This isn't a crouton. This isn't even a hard tomato.
This
This
is
is
lettuce. Just lettuce.
My God.
I mean, he's a man too. I mean, he took a ball off the face against the Diamondbacks 2 years ago.
No, I'm the man. I'm the guy eating lettuce. Do you see, honey, what I'm doing for you when you make me eat salad? You're putting me at real risk here.
Jeez.
So just know when I eat that salad, I'm doing that for you.
Who knew that lettuce could really take
Jeffrey,
you out?
Does Alex, your wife, does she eat the salad too?
Yeah, but
couldn't that happen to her as well?
Women are genetically built for that. They can't get hurt by salad.
Okay.
That can't happen to them.
Does she eat the kale? Because the kale is even more.
I feel like if Dustin had chewed that.
Yeah, that's the information I'm getting out of this. Not a great chewer. That's the scouting report here.
Women chew. No, they're great chewers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's why they take much longer than men.
Only women chew.
Keep
Great
it going,
day.
Randy. Keep
Yeah,
it going.
Only women chew.
Oh, yeah. Let's hear it.
Only women chew.
Wow. They were such great lyrics that you had to hear them 3 times.
I just wanted to see where it'd go with it. 888-368-1580. Moiswin says John Olerud used to wear a helmet on the field.
Olerud, yes.
Olerud,
Yes.
Cardinal Art says Don Bibby should have been invented all kind of safety equipment for all sports. He would have been a very wealthy man. I don't understand what he's saying. Baker's Cocky Hen says, yeah, old Miller looked like he spent a night with Trevor Bauer.
Wow.
That was a great line. I'm sorry. It's funnier now that it turns out he didn't abuse anyone. I mean, not less than consensually.
Criminally. Yeah.
Swave Dave says, I didn't tear my esophagus, but I almost choked to death on an orange pulp when I was younger. I almost choked to death on a ham sandwich, Mama Cass style, when I was younger. I took a bite of a sandwich and I'm like, nom, nom, nom. And then I swallowed, but there's this big flap of ham and it just blocked my airway. And I'm like, I'm choking to death here. And I thought, I knew what it was. So I was like, I just reached in and pinched a hole in it.
Oh, wow.
And then I got a little breath. I was like, that's it. And I'm sitting there by myself and I'm looking around. This is as an adult. I was younger, but as an adult, I'm like, I've got to make sure there's always people around me when I
get
eat.
one of those vacuum things.
Because, what if I can't reach down there and grab that?
Sure.
Get a life vac.
You know what we're trying to find right now? Last night at the end of the show, right when we were doing On This Date, my dog Bebo, he has a thing. It's not a proper seizure, but what happens is if he's puking, and dogs, they get into stuff. They're always puking. Mm-hmm. And it triggers the vagus nerve. I thought it was vagus, but then I heard somebody say it. It's the vagus nerve.
Vagus.
Vaginally.
Until you hear it said, it
Only
looks
you
like
would think that.
vagus. Anyway, the vagus nerve. And what happens is it automatically lowers his blood pressure and he just passes out and he starts to have a bit of a seizure.
Oh.
Like if somebody has kind of like squeezed you out and choked you out. And moist one would know. And so the dog is sitting there having a seizure. So my wife is like, emergency. So I went down there to help because all the times I'll pull his tongue out of the back of his throat so he starts breathing, you know.
Jeez.
And so, you know, I don't remember where I was going with this, to be honest.
Something about choking. I don't know.
There was
I
a
don't know.
point.
Yes.
There was absolutely a
You
point.
guys said you were looking for something.
This is it. So but this time I tried to pry his little mouth open. It was like, it was clenched. And I told my wife, don't put your finger in there. Because, you know, if he won't do it on purpose, but he could take your finger. And so we were looking today. Now I'm trying to find something to put on the dog's mouth like you do for a person. And because I'm not putting my mouth on his nose, you know, so do they have that for a dog? For the you could do like a CPR for a dog?
So you just want to blow into his mouth?
Well, or through his nose. I don't care. I just want him to breathe because that's the thing. He'd stop breathing.
Couldn't you use like a funnel?
Probably.
Yeah, right.
Get like an automatic transmission funnel.
No, there you go. Or like a turkey baster. Yeah. Look
One
at
of those
that.
big long ones, Randy.
No, I've got it. I've got that in the garage. The thing is, I got to put my face in the transmission oil. I think they probably have an actual medical version of that.
Just go get it at Napa Auto Parts. It's fine.
So just start. Yeah. I mean, in a pinch, that'll work. So
Yeah.
Gamecock says, I tuned into tongue in the back of the throat. Interesting. CK says, very true, fellas. Women are great at swallowing salad. Boomer Sooner says, hey, flying cars are coming soon. Billions invested. United Emirates already using for taxi service. No pollution, no noise. Oh, there's always pollution. Don't kid yourself. And the other thing is man, we can't drive without barely crashing into each other all the time. Our planes are falling out of the sky. Do we really want to have cars falling on your house now? There's nothing to keep a car from falling on your house if it's flying. I'm not for the flying cars.
Also, we would decimate the bird population. Right now, the only thing that they got going is that every once in a while they can hear the jet stream coming in at them. If we're just getting electric cars up there flying around and silent and they can't hear it,
Well, you know, if it's a drone type of technology, maybe that'll be all right.
Maybe.
Bruno Baller says, when Phil starts playing Wake Me Up Before You Go, I think it's time to fire him. It might have been time to fire him a couple of songs ago.
Yeah.
Chosen One says, Fisker makes a car with solar panel on the roof to help with charging. Yeah, but how much does that really help? How long do you have to park outside for a week for that to charge up, right?
You're talking about these electric cars again, Jeffrey. I just want to know, did you see that commercial for the new Dodge Daytona?
When they put an engine in it that runs on gas, I'll be excited.
Well, it has a gas engine in it.
It
Yeah.
does?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought there was all electric.
No, no. The Dodge Daytona? No, I don't think that is one of those gas burning machines.
You might want to check that. I am pretty sure those are all electric, at least at the moment. I could be wrong. So this is the only time you're going to hear me talk about soccer, but it's not even about the game. So imagine this happening in football, but a referee at the end of a match goes up to Lionel Messi, and I hear he's pretty good at soccer. And this Lionel Messi guy was Inter Miami's CONCACAF thing. I don't know what the hell that is.
The caffeine league.
Sure.
It's CONCACAF.
How would you know, Ralph?
Because I watch soccer.
Huh.
Say that again, but don't lie.
No, I love soccer.
I can't tell if he's being truthful.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you people?
What's wrong with us? You like soccer.
Yeah, because my teams win championships, world championships.
Oh, you are
league
so
championships.
desperate.
Are you Real Madrid?
The Italy national team has got 3 world titles. The Galaxy have got 6 titles. I mean, I watch soccer.
Just bad taste in the mouth. Right there. Anyway, so there's Lyle. Are you familiar with Lionel Messi?
Yeah, he's probably was the best player in the world up till recently.
Yeah, was right. Yeah, okay. So they win the game, and at the end of the game, the ref goes, "Hey, can I have your jersey?" And he's like, "Yeah, okay, no problem," and gives him the jersey.
Can't do that.
Turns out, yeah. Can you imagine if somebody had gone up to Tom Brady and said at the end of the game, the ref says, "Hey, can I have your jersey?"
That'd be bad.
What does that do to everyone who has put a bet on the game? You know what I mean? What does that do to everybody who is a fan of the other team? That is just like the worst possible thing you can do. This guy was a substitute referee, from what I understand. He'll probably not be asked back. But for him, he's like, hey, I got a Lionel Messi signed jersey. Fire me. I don't care. You know, that's got to be worth something, right?
Oh, yeah.
Quite a bit, you
fired,
think?
didn't he?
I heard he'd been suspended, but since I don't give a crap about soccer, I never went back to find out if worse happened. Maybe you could tell us.
I'll find out for you.
Oh, no. Past this moment, I probably won't care. It's soccer.
What's your thing with soccer? It's a great sport.
You go enjoy.
All right.
I just can't. I just can't. For every reason you can think. Now, we have classified it a sport. So I didn't say it's not a sport, just it's not a sport for me. It's not a sport for me. There's got to be a sport that's not a sport for you. But it's not a sport for you where you're like, I don't want to watch that.
Tennis.
All right. See, I can watch tennis. I could actually sit there and watch it. I don't.
I actually could watch
but
tennis.
I could.
I don't like tennis.
Yeah. All right. How about you, Randy? What's not a sport for you? Meaning it's a sport, but it's not a sport for you.
I don't like to watch tennis. I don't like to watch soccer, and I can't stand pickleball.
Yeah. I've never seen a pickleball game. I never will see a pickleball game.
It's on TV. I
yeah,
mean, they have.
No, it's not.
Not
if I'm in control.
Well, I know it's on the TV.
I
you
don't
can,
think
you
so.
can find it.
I deny that.
Can't seem to. Andre Agassi is big into the pickleball now.
He should burn in hell.
Well, I mean, he might, but he is
first
one of
for
the,
what he did to Brooke Shields. Second for playing pickleball.
What did he do to Brooke Shields?
I don't know. Go read a book. I don't know.
Okay.
There's some he did. He hurt her in some way. I think. I think he was crazy.
Okay.
I just remember he did her dirty.
Well, he's well, I'm sure he did her dirty. Yes, I'm sure. After the Blue Lagoon, are you kidding me?
Wow,
that's kind of creepy. Swave Dave says, I've heard that so far this year we've had less plane crashes than we had last year. But we're up in arms about this year. Did we even know about them last year?
That's the difference.
I mean, I think what it was is just we started the year with like crash, 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 crash. I think last year it was spread out and not in the United States. We're talking about in the United States. Did you figure out what happened? Andre Agassi was just not nice to her, right?
Yeah, he wasn't nice. He was addicted to meth apparently, and when
that's not a big deal.
Well, no, but
so he's from Tucson.
But he smashed his trophies when she went on Friends and licked Matt LeBlanc's finger for Friends.
Right. I don't think my wife also an actress, and if she went on a TV show and licked a guy's finger, I don't think I'd smash my own things, but I'd probably tell her I don't feel like I appreciated that. Please don't do that again. That hurts. That hurts me to see that. I mean, she'd say, well, I'm an actress. When you got together with me, you knew I was an actress, and that was just part of the thing. And she says, but it was funny. And then I'd have to say, okay, that was fun. Yeah, it was fun. But yeah, I mean, there's things maybe you disagree with and you don't like, but smashing your own trophies.
I guess at least that's a positive, right? He smashed his own trophies. At least
what did you do to her? Just mean to her?
I'm sure she has an Emmy.
Oh.
Smash an Emmy.
So the other day,
she has an Emmy.
I'm sure she has an Emmy. Here,
I don't know.
Let me see. What's her trophy?
Or an Oscar, maybe?
I don't know.
I don't think she has an Oscar.
Moist One says, I would have made her lick my finger too.
Wow.
No, she licked Matt LeBlanc's finger.
I know, but if he was his wife, if he was her husband.
Was he the one that that died recently?
No, that was the other guy.
He's Joey.
Oh, Joey. Matt LeBlanc is Joey.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never watched Friends.
Oh wow.
I had to watch at Wife Point.
So
Oh, you did?
So apparently Brooke Shields has tremendous prestige in the People's Choice Awards. 97, 84, 83.
What does this have to
82?
do with August he did to her?
Well, I'm just saying, like, what she could smash. That's all.
That's really not what I was. Okay, let's just forget the whole thing.
She has a couple of Razzies.
Let's see here.
So she saw.
The hell's a Razzie?
Oh, Razzie
when you have bad acting.
Yeah, the Razzie, like Adam Sandler has a couple of Razzies where it's like an award in the worst of the worst.
I missed a bunch.
It's like a People's Choice Award.
I missed a bunch of texts earlier. Sorry, guys. I ain't gonna read them again because it's too late. Like this is over an hour old. There's like 4 or 5 people. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Let's see. Moist One says Friends is terrible. Try watching without a laugh track. Yeah, you won't be one humorous thing. I don't know about that.
There's a few things that are funny.
Well, but it's not my thing. Anyway, the other day, there's this Minnesota Timberwolves player. You know him, Terrence Shannon Jr., and he went to the University of Illinois. So he played college basketball there. And they're like, hey, we're going to retire your jersey. He's like, all right. And it's like, here's a string. You pull this string, and then it'll unfurl, and it'll reveal your jersey hanging there in the rafters. And it's always very exciting. And he's standing there. Dun, 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 dun. He pulls the thing, and they're like, yeah, oh, crap, it's upside down.
Oh, that's right.
They hung it upside down.
Oh, wow.
He was a good sport about it. He was laughing. He's like, okay, can we fix this? Somebody is got to be fired for that. You can't not fire the guy who hung that up there and got that ready.
You know how when you hang the United States flag, the American flag,
Like at
upside
half
down?
mast? Yeah.
No, upside down.
Oh, yeah,
It's supposed to be a sign of
duress.
Duress. So I'm just wondering, is he now under duress because his jersey's hung upside down in the Missouri arena there?
I think he was under laughs because he's a millionaire, and if that's the worst thing that happens, then life's pretty good.
Wow.
Oh, so I'm like, I see this video, right? I see the video of the reveal in the upside down jersey, epic fail, and then I look over and I'm like, oh, here's another link, and I couldn't believe what I saw. So I click on this link and I see this is sanctioned by the MMA. A fight between 2 men taking on 3 OnlyFans models.
Yes.
What?
Yes, I saw this.
Did you see that? And they're
No.
like kicking these gals in the stomach. I mean, I think they were
Come
trying to take it
on.
easier on their faces, but they were downright fighting. And the girls were wearing these matching white tank tops and skirts, and they had some headgear on. And the dudes were over there, and they're like, we don't have headgear because, and so they're fighting, and they're like legit fighting. And then these girls were trying. They were absolutely trying.
Yeah.
But they got their asses whooped.
Oh, I'm sure.
And at the end, one of the girls, she was not happy. She was still trying to fight. I don't blame her, but wow, how is this legal?
It was very uncomfortable to watch, and it was one of those where I watched it for the first few minutes thinking, is this AI? Is this where we're going? And no.
Should have been 2 guys and 10 girls.
Wow.
That would have been, because this wasn't fair. This was not
this-
even right.
Did somebody lose a bet? What the hell's going on here?
I don't know
understand.
why they did this. But it was real MMA fighters, Kastika Prescaru and Sebastian Recinu. And this was in Romania, I think. I don't think this was here. But that just that was because I saw another video where I think it was where they had 2 pros take on like 20 guys, and the pros still won that one too. So you need a bunch more women to make that one fair.
Remember that TV show Pros versus Joes
Yeah,
back in the day?
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Eye candy.
I don't remember the pros ever taking on. What did you say?
It's hard to
these women
watch.
are?
Yeah, it's hard to watch dudes fighting women.
Yeah.
I don't care for that. Eye candy says, Jeffrey, I just tuned in. What have you done with Geraldo?
Geraldo.
Wow. Did he quit? No, he's not quit. He's just working another gig right now, a gig that he had before he got hired here. So just everybody calm down. Moist One, I don't think that's what they would do. He says, I would just lay down on my back and let them, and then, no, that's not what, they wouldn't be suddenly inspired. They
They'd
would
be
probably
going blow for blow.
No, they would kick the crap out of you if
Wow.
you did that.
Wow.
If you haven't seen it, and now you got to be careful how you search.
Yeah.
2 men on 3 women. No, don't do that. But MMA, 2 men versus 3 women.
I have no desire. But thank you.
Apparently, the company that puts this on just keeps on putting on these spectacle fights, even on the same card. Apparently, it was 10 amateurs took on 2 real heavyweights and just got demolished.
Well, I saw 20 once.
Yeah.
All right, listen, enough of this. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We got a few things that we need to talk about. We aren't getting through a whole lot of stuff these days.
It is a Friday show.
Yeah. I feel like it's been a Friday week.
It has been.
We are going to talk about GCU, ASU, and a bunch of other stuff that is coming up this weekend. Ralph will give us a preview of what's going to be on the Weekend Warriors. We'll pretend to listen. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
We all know just because gifts for loved ones can look like flowers, a spa day, or maybe even planning date night. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments less than the cost of a bouquet of flowers, this is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-596-2626 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2626. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Multivitamins are your partners in health. Their nutrients are key to your daily well-being, especially if you're planning to become pregnant. A multivitamin rich in folic acid can help you have a healthier pregnancy and prevent birth defects. That's why the Arizona Department of Health Services is offering a free 3-month supply of daily vitamins with folic acid. To get your free vitamins, go to azdhs.gov/PowerMe-A2Z.
Sponsored by the Arizona Department of Health Services.
The Rich Eisen Show.
The crazy talk was that they would actually wait to sign Micah Parsons in the same way that they've waited to sign Dak Prescott and waited to sign CeeDee Lamb, and that they would take this thing through the summer, and then once the training camp hit, actually consider trading Micah Parsons. I just think it's nuts to consider trading Micah Parsons by any stretch of the imagination.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at 10 a.m. on 1580, The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. So we got GCU tomorrow at 5:45 p.m. They're hosting the California Baptist Lancers. I was surprised that the entire college is just such big fans of Dr. Pimple Popper. But here we are. So the Lancers will be coming to town and should be easy work for GCU. Nothing is easy work for Arizona State University right now because they are like the sons of the Big 12 conference, and they got Kansas State. And this is a game, ASU desperately needs to win. They have not won. It's been 6 games now. I don't remember how long it's been since they've won a game. But right now, Kansas State is favored to win this game. So ASU's got to change and do something. It just always sounds familiar when we talk about ASU. When we talk about the Suns, the difference is, there's not all that expensive firepower on ASU. So there's some good players and should be doing better than they're doing, but unfortunately, they're just not. 888-368-1580. So the betting sites already giving odds on who's going to headline the 2026 Super Bowl halftime show.
Really?
Miley Cyrus and Chappell Roan are tied for first.
Really?
At 16.7%, which means it's just a big shotgun blast of people.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oasis is on there.
No idea.
Christina Aguilera and Sabrina Carpenter. Now, Sabrina Carpenter, she's a new up-and-coming Taylor Swift-like star. She would probably become a big deal for that. Chappell Roan, very talented as well. Miley Cyrus, can I just say she's way too young to have that closing time gal at the end of the bar voice? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't think she's that young anymore, is she?
She's pretty young. She's like 30 or something.
Yeah, she's
right?
around my age. So she is exquisitely young.
Hey, everybody, listen, I'm going to sing a song about a wrecking ball now.
Well, she's 32 years old, and she's been singing since she was a little kid. So,
well, that doesn't do that to the voice. Whatever she's smoking.
It does if she hollers like she sometimes does.
Now, whatever the case, I don't care for her. But Chappell Roan, that'd be a show and a half. And then, but I think I put the best money down on that Sabrina Carpenter. She was on the Saturday Night Live. She seems to be a lot of fun. I don't know if she's any good as a singer, to be honest, because I can't tell.
And also a performer. You wonder about that as well. I wonder if her library is expansive enough to cover that. Yeah, that's why I'd go with probably Christina Aguilera is probably a favorite.
Whoa. I think she can do enough songs to fill the show.
Oh, certainly.
But that doesn't mean that she's out of the running because she doesn't have a huge library. I mean, Christina Aguilera, how much did she really do? You know what I'm saying? Far as a library,
you can go pretty far down.
That was actually like a big deal.
You can go pretty far down on Christina Aguilera's, even if it just covers. Oh, wow. You can go pretty far down her library and see like where there's enough to where at least. Yeah, because I think what it is for the Super Bowl halftime show, you need 8 songs that you're probably going to cover realistically to give it a fair rendition of it, at least in that montage that it is. I think Christina Aguilera would do that. Okay. For Sabrina Carpenter, she would do her entire album, her lone album.
So do you want second place in the Britney Spears contest at Christina Aguilera, or somebody fresh and new and like, oh wow, we haven't seen this before in Sabrina Carpenter? I'd rather see Sabrina Carpenter.
It's a risk.
And I also don't care.
Yeah, well, that's true. It's a risk. Bruno Mars was probably the last person to do this, where they had just a burgeoning career, really. Like they were really hot at the moment, and they were opening, and it really ascended their career. It would be Bruno Mars was probably the last one to do it like this. So it would be interesting. Usually, it's like the cherry on top of your career.
Well, we're running out of time for it to be Foo Fighters. Because those guys are getting old too.
I think the sands run out of that hourglass.
Well, Moist One says, "Genie in a bottle will have me rubbing my magic lamp."
Excuse me?
What's that, Randy?
Let's get naughty.
Or Randy was going to say something, but I think he just forgot.
No, I am.
Heckler Jones says, "Who the heck is Ralph?"
Oh my gosh. You obviously don't listen to the show.
Let's see. Last time Heckler Jones texted was December 11th. So yeah, it's been a while. But he's been on longer than that.
Yeah. Were you on the show that day, Ralph? December 11th?
Don't know. But
check your diary.
4 years.
Check your diary. Dear diary.
Boomer Sooner says Rick Barry was the one who did the underhand free throws, by the way.
Rick Barry. Yes.
Average Joe says, I gone blow to blow with 2 girls once, if you know what I mean.
Wow.
You got your ass kicked, didn't you? Number 1 Rattler fan says, in Poland MMA, if you don't make your weight, you still fight, but then you have to fight your opponent and his father. That is a true fact.
That cannot be true. What?
I really hope it is. I do hope it is. Baker's Cocky Hen says to improve Canadian relations, we have to have one of these artists do the Super Bowl. Drake, Alanis Morissette,
No.
Bryan Adams,
No.
Avril Lavigne,
No.
Justin Bieber.
No.
Well, if I had to, I'd take Bryan Adams.
I'd take
I
that.
like Bryan
Out of
Adams.
all of that, Bryan Adams.
I like him.
Mm-hmm.
But he's about 85 now.
Have Bryan Adams with special guest Alanis Morissette. I think that's the most talent that you have there.
Really? Because I feel like Alanis Morissette would try to attack Bryan Adams for no apparent reason.
Because he's a man. But listen, before she's allowed on the Super Bowl stage, I want to sit down with her and actually show her the dictionary definition of ironic. Because clearly by that horrible song, she didn't quite get it the first time.
Right.
Moislin says, you forgot the best Canadian artist, Nickelback.
No,
Loverboy.
Couldn't make it as
Loverboy was Canadian?
Loverboy's Canadian.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Get his fat butt on the stage.
Oh, he's still alive?
He's huge.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Average Joe says Rush would be an amazing halftime Canadian show.
Especially now, that'd be amazing.
Why?
Now you start combining some of these acts, right?
What do you mean now? Neil Peart is dead.
Right. So they'd be amazing now.
Wow.
If he could come back and play, that'd be pretty amazing. And have David Bowie be like the second band. I mean, that'd be amazing.
Oh, that made me sad. I like David Bowie. Baker's Cocky Hen says, I'll sit down with her in a theater. Last Optimist says, I'm starting a petition for Jethro Tull for the next Super Bowl.
Aqualung.
Hey, while we're at it, how about Buddy Holly and Richie Valens? Why not?
That'd be a problem there.
Oh, Randy, I got good news for you.
Yes, sir.
Now, just hang in there.
I'm waiting.
Stop rushing the man, Randy.
Well, I know it's going to happen. And you have to promise not to leave the room. You have to stay in your chair.
I promise nothing. You should know this after how long we've worked together.
A new bill has been introduced by California's legislature to propose to make Bigfoot the state's official cryptid.
Cryptid?
Yeah, well, that's
like symbol.
The word cryptid, what that means is it's a creature that people believe to be real, but has not been proven to exist. So they're going to make him the state's official mythical creature.
Are you serious?
Because it's California. That does not mean Bigfoot is real and that you should go off looking for him again.
Wouldn't he be more being owned by like Washington or Oregon?
Bigfoot is owned by nobody. He's nobody's cryptid.
Also not real.
Bigfoot roams about freely and will continue to do so. But I will be the one to bring him in.
So
I will bring him in.
This is not any sort of verification or that they've seen him in California or found him or remains or anything. So that's what I'm saying. No. This is what I was trying to avoid.
This weekend, call off. We're not cleaning the garage.
Well, that I can't
forget about the
blame him
garage.
for trying to get out of that.
Yeah,
Nobody wants to clean the garage.
Yeah.
So I just wanted you to hear it from me. It doesn't mean anything. I don't know. Does Arizona have an official cryptid? If it is, it's probably the chupacabra.
Yeah.
That would be the
say
one.
That or the jackalope.
Oh, the jackalope. That's right. That's a good
I
point.
thought it was the kukui.
What's a kukui?
You never heard of that?
Did you just make that up?
You've never heard of a kukui?
I heard Baba Booey. Baba Booey.
Ask our Latin listeners what a kukui is.
Did you just make me say something really nasty? on the
No,
air?
not at all. It's just, it's like a mythical thing, a kukui.
Your face is a mythical thing.
Well, I've heard that.
Kukui. I don't know. What,
The
is there-
Mexican boogeyman.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
So that's the Mexican boogeyman, but the Chupacabra, or whatever that. Or am I starting to mix up the way you say hummingbird in Spanish?
Yeah, you're thinking of chinchilla.
What? That's a cute, fuzzy little animal
that you wear on a coat or a wrap.
Moist one says, "What's next? Arizona's cryptid is the New Jersey Devil."
No, No, that's New Jersey's. I don't want anything from New Jersey out here. It is the jackalope. You people need to understand. I've been here as long as the state has been a state, and I know I can tell you the cryptid for Arizona is the jackalope, and there is no argument.
The jackalope is West Texas.
I'm thinking it's Koopa Jabra or Koopa.
Yeah, if you go to West Texas, they actually have statues of the jackalope there.
West Texas can kiss my big white, you know what?
Well, the jackalope posed for it willingly, Randy, for the statue.
What?
So
what?
He posed for the. He posed for the.
I
They
don't
have a
believe
hockey
that.
team called the
No.
Jackalopes.
No, I don't believe that for 1 second. West Texas
We can take the
cannot steal
javelinas.
the jackalope from us.
Bruno Baller says you're not going to find Bigfoot because Bigfoot was taken by aliens into UFO aircraft to faraway planets.
No.
Maybe they're
That's,
bald and
it's
faraway
another myth,
planets.
but I will be the one to bring him. Yeah, Kim, get your camo out. Yeah, that's it.
Camo.
Yeah,
I'm sure she looks cute in camo, but
Yes, she does. Yeah. Oh no.
don't
She-
drag her along
Miss
on this.
Kim
She's got a
is
life to live.
Miss Kim is a voracious Bigfoot hunter.
Hmm.
Voracious.
Well, she can't be that voracious if you haven't caught one yet.
We're
caught
getting
Randy.
close.
She caught
We're
Randy.
getting close.
Moist one says Chupacabra, yes, for Arizona, and Mogollon Monster. Never heard of Mogollon Monster.
I can't say I have either.
Quiet Cannon says Arizona has a mythical character. It's our mythical governor.
That's funny.
That was funny. That was good.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, "Oh, we got Jackalope here too." Oh, by the way, Randy, we promised them a weather report, and
Oh,
I don't want to really actually hear it. So, can you stop short of the 90-degree day that's coming?
Well, thanks, Jeffrey, from the 1580 The Fanatic Harmon Solar Weather Center, Chief Meteorologist Randy White, where it's currently 32 degrees in Aubrey, Texas. Right
God
now.
damn it! Turn off the music. I've told you
Currently
for the last time.
72 under mostly
No,
sunny
you only do the
skies.
weather here.
It's going to be in the mid 50s overnight. And look out, gang. 82 by Monday. Beautiful weekend, though. Chamber of Commerce type of weekend. The sun sets tonight at 6:19 p.m.
Chamber of Commerce
It is
for
a
hell.
waning crescent moon. Waning crescent moon tonight. Wind out of the east at 5 miles an hour. And again, it's currently 72 under beautiful skies from the 1580 The Fanatic Weather Center. Chief Meteorologist Randy White, back to you, Jeff Coop.
Thank you, Randy. But this is your last warning.
What's
If you
that?
give weather for another place during a
Uh-huh.
weather forecast again,
Yeah.
I will disallow you being able to do weather.
I'm afraid you can't do that.
I
It's
can
not in
do
my
that.
contract.
I can
I'm afraid
totally
you
do
can't.
that.
When is
I'd
the
have to go through Radio Ron.
when is the waxy moon coming along? I got a patch
It's-
that needs
no,
addressing.
it's waning. Waxing is in a few days.
Oh,
Waning crescent
I haven't
moon.
waned
tonight,
in
Bill.
years.
Yeah, it's a waning crescent tonight,
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen.
I'm telling you right now,
Mhm.
you do Arizona weather.
No, I
That's
did.
it, and that's
I
it.
clearly,
And
I
no
did,
more
local
reading
weather.
No, I don't want to hear any
I
more
did,
temperatures of
Beautiful
Muncie.
weather for what? Muncie.
I want to hear
Muncie?
it. I don't want any
I've
more of
never
that.
said anything about Muncie.
Or wherever it is you're doing, just only here.
Dave Muncie is a national treasure. You leave him out of this weather forecast.
Also a city in Indiana, but all right.
Oh, I see.
Silver Pop says Randy, Bigfoot being abducted by aliens is actually a fact. There's a documentary series about it called Star Wars. The alien named Chewbacca.
No,
It's a
no.
fact.
No.
It makes sense though, right? Because aliens always are shown as bald. Of course they would take interest in our hairiest of men. So Bigfoot.
You guys will all laugh it up. That's okay. You'll laugh it up when I bring Bigfoot in, and he's sitting right here next to me.
You gonna get him a pedicure, Randy, or are you gonna take care of his?
Listen, I'll take care of Bigfoot. You don't worry about it.
Wow.
How are you going to take care of Bigfoot?
I guess you know how I'm going to take care of
Last
Bigfoot.
Optimist says Arizona has the thing in Benson.
That's true.
I've never stopped there and I never will
I have.
because I know I'll be angry. I
You
know
will.
something about it will make me angry.
It will.
All right.
The thing.
I had so much sports to talk about. We just
Mm.
can't
Well,
seem to
that's-
get there on a Friday like
It's
this.
unfortunate, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't care. This might kind of tell the tale of something.
All right.
The NBA All-Star game,
Yeah.
had the exact same ratings as the NFL Pro Bowl flag football game.
That's
4.7.
Wow.
That means people are done with both.
I actually see that as a positive for.
4.7 million is nothing.
Yeah, well, I was going to say I see that as a positive for NBA.
It's an 18% drop for the NFL, a 13% drop for the NBA.
I mean, it's positive in that if people are going to watch anything that is awful as an all-star game, the NFL would be it. So the fact that they're on pace with each other is fascinating.
On pace. Look, two horrible fat kids. They're running exactly the same speed while everybody else has already gone to the showers. Fantastic.
I was my hand was on the dump button for that last one.
Because
the fantastic was really it.
You, Phil. Anyway, just got to stop with the All-Star games. That's all. NHL's got it. Drop the mic. They win. You know, they win. Moldy Tuna Fish says, Jeffrey, you're imposing a lot of executive orders over there today. You're like the Donald Trump of radio. All right.
Yeah, no cargo shorts for Jeffrey today. He's wearing the pants.
I am. And long live this king. You know what I need? I need executive powers. You guys need to hurry up and make me emperor so I can fix this crap.
Yeah, absolutely.
I need to get you a Sharpie.
You fix everything. All right, let's take a break. And when we come back, we'll try to cram some sports into the last segment. I don't know. We're going to try. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
We all know just because gifts for loved ones can look like flowers, a spa day, or maybe even planning date night. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments less than the cost of a bouquet of flowers, this is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-596-2626 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2626. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Think you can handle a few drinks and still drive safely? Think again. Buzzed driving is drunk driving, and drunk driving can land you in serious trouble. In Arizona, there's zero tolerance for impaired driving. Even one drink can cost you thousands in fines and legal fees. Plus, take away your driver's license. So plan ahead. Use a designated driver or rideshare. Get the facts at drivesober.az.gov. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
All right, so there we were, cruising through the new open-air zoo when I realized that the park was closing in like 15 minutes. That's when the afternoon took an exciting turn. Luckily, we were in my Nissan Rogue. With its powerful DC turbo engine, well, we had more than enough time to see all the animals. Whoa. And outrun a few.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now, Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000 MSRP. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. 2024 Nissan Altima, Kicks, Leaf, Rogue, Sentra, and Versa. All prices are manufacturer's suggested retail price. Manufacturer's suggested retail price excludes destination and handling charges, tax, title, license, and options. Dealer sets actual prices.
1580 The Fanatic and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Your home for sports.
Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Uh-oh. CK says, Jeffrey, how dare you? Oh, boy.
How dare you what?
I don't know. There's a thinky wheel on here, and that's all I can see is how dare me.
How dare you?
He says, "Oh, here it is. How dare you speak to the weather daddy like that? Put some
Yeah, well-
respect on the weather daddy's name."
I mean, I try, guys. I try.
I
and,
have rules and regulations and expectations for the weather daddy.
I think, sir, your regulations, sir, for the weather cannot be muted or stifled.
No, my rules cannot be muted or stifled. You're correct. Well done.
The
Dodger-
weather must go on.
Huh? Yeah, the weather here, because nobody cares about the weather out there. Anyway, so did anybody care about Aaron Rodgers?
No.
You know the great thing, and I when Harris comes back, the Titans look to be the number one destination possibility for Aaron Rodgers is the Tennessee Titans.
Wow.
I'm just gonna laugh my ass off
I just don't see that.
if that happens. But here's the thing, Aaron Rodgers, he's like, here's what I want. I want to be wanted. He just sounds like the saddest. And then number two, he says, I want to be surrounded by talent.
Yeah, don't go to the Titans.
And I would like good weather. So you got to want me, have talent around me, in good weather.
Wow.
So what team does that sound like?
Oakland. I mean, I'm sorry, Las Vegas.
Do you think they want him?
No,
I don't know.
But they don't have anything better right now, do they?
How about Miami?
I mean, they have a draft pick. Hold on. Well, Miami's got Tua.
Yeah, for how long? Until the next hit in the head?
I don't think Aaron Rodgers will be a backup waiting for that to happen.
Aaron Rodgers needs a team with elite wide receivers and some semblance of an offensive line that can protect him.
The Giants have some talent, that Malik Neighbors and they're dumb. Yeah, they might, but they don't have good weather. The Browns, they need, but they don't have good weather. Patriots don't have good weather. Jaguars,
no.
Raiders need somebody. They have good weather ish. It's hotter than hell there, just like here.
Well, they're in a dome stadium, so what does he care?
They're going to go after Darnold.
Yeah. Saints, that's not, it's fun, but I can't see anything on this list. And they're going to go to 49ers. They got Brock Purdy.
And they don't have good weather.
But the Cardinals
has good weather, but they still have a little Kyler Murray. So
have an itty bitty quarterback.
Well, I mean, he can hold his balls.
Mm-hmm. He's not
hold
going.
his what?
He's not going to be a clipboard Rodgers.
No.
It's not going to happen.
No.
I don't see anything on this list of teams that I think works.
I feel like the Raiders are the only thing they can do. The Cowboys are not going to get rid of Dak. Jerry's not going to do that.
Aaron Rodgers will not be a backup. So he's going to say no to anything like that. And so what he's going to do is he's going to get paid by the Jets next year to do nothing.
I don't know that that's true. I think his best opportunity is actually not available to him right now. I think what he will fulfill is the Tom Brady role, where after he retired the first and second time, teams came to him after their quarterback went down, after their starting quarterback went down, and they had a team that was good enough to play in the playoffs. And they were like, "Hey, we need a quarterback for the remainder of the
good
season."
enough to play in the
Yes,
playoffs.
absolutely.
So, other than that, he's going to be like, "Nope, you could have had me at the beginning of the year. You can't have
Well,
me."
are they going to be able to get a hold of him? He might be in Chile cave diving or something.
Yeah.
Dark
doing
cave
some dark
someplace.
cave experience
They
or
have to
something.
FaceTime him versus call
I don't think there's a
him.
good team in the NFL that wants Aaron Rodgers at this point. Not one.
Yeah, I
The only
can't.
team- the only teams
49ers.
the only team that would want him would be a team that just wants to bring people into the stands. That's not going to be a good team. Nobody wants the guy. He's not worth
I just
one.
went down the worst teams, and the Titans. They have the number one pick. So if they took,
Cam Moore, Shedeur Sanders.
no, the other one, the generational talent. guy.
Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter. If they took Travis Hunter and then they took Aaron Rodgers, I mean, but I don't know.
But what else do they have?
Yeah, they don't have anything else.
Well, they've got that tight end.
Listen, I didn't
Bowers.
say
Is
that they
his
were
name?
smart.
That's the Raiders.
I'm telling you, what if the Detroit Lions all of a sudden Jared Goff goes down? Who would you rather have, Teddy Bridgewater, or
It's
would you
not
rather
good
have?
weather. You
Well,
gotta
but
go
it's in
by-
a dome. It
you've
doesn't
got-
matter.
You've got to go by his rules, and he wants good weather, not to play in. He wants good weather to live in. So dome or no dome, it's got to be in a place that has good weather for him.
might-
He's set his rules.
He might want to look at the CFL. Because I don't think anyone in the NFL is going to go.
That's even worse weather.
But I just don't think anybody wants him. I think his time is done.
Miami Dolphins
well-
would make sense if Tua goes down, which he very well might. That
Well,
might be somewhere.
They might
That'd be the
give him
only
a
way.
call.
The only way that's going to happen is if somebody goes down, like Phil said, and they call him. Otherwise, I don't see anyone at the beginning of the year wanting Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I don't either. And I think that maybe this is his way of saving face that he's put too much on it. And it's like, well, no place with good weather is ready. So, whatever.
Yeah, maybe.
He just needs to retire.
He effectively already has.
Yes.
The question is, do you think that this tenure with the Jets has affected his legacy in a negative way, or does it even not scratch it?
Well, people don't like him, so his legacy is already kind of garbage.
People won't remember it. It's kind of like when Montana left the Niners. No one really thinks about Montana with the Chiefs.
Yeah, his Aaron Rodgers' career will be defined by what he did in Green Bay,
Which is one Super Bowl.
Which is funny because Brett Favre, his predecessor, his career also is defined in what he did in Green Bay, but people look fondly upon him for his Vikings career.
Well, now nobody likes him
Well,
because
yeah,
of what he did to
yeah.
all those welfare people. He
Yeah.
stole their money.
And plus what he did to have reporters showing,
his
showing
little-
his full sports equipment.
Is itty bitty Favre. So, as far as Aaron Rodgers goes, what do you mean he didn't retire? He got retired
Well,
by
I mean,
the Jets.
He hasn't played really since he was a Packer. He really never played with the Jets. I don't even look at last year.
You're right about that. He never really did. I mean,
Right.
he did have some good stats and some good games where he played okay and had put up some numbers, but they didn't win nothing.
But not Aaron Rodgers-esque. I mean, you
No.
think Aaron Rodgers, you think the Packers, and that's where it stops. He just needs to hang it up. He's done. He's been done.
What about the Steelers?
No, I don't think he's be good there either.
Yeah, I think that they're going to go young. They're going to go young with something like
They're
that.
probably going to
I
give
didn't-
Justin Field a shot.
Mhm.
I didn't know Steve Young was coming back.
Oh, he's been back.
He is?
Sure.
Wow. He's kind of old, isn't he?
That's probably the easiest way to do this. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for On This Date in Big Georgia's sports history. Back in the year 1959, the inaugural Daytona 500 was held with Johnny Beauchamp.
Yes.
Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
Declared the winner by NASCAR founder Bill France in a photo finish. But 3 days later, moving pictures showed that Lee Petty had actually won the race by a mere 3 feet, and the decision was reversed. Okay, so 3 feet sounds like an awful lot.
Yeah.
To win the race by.
Yeah.
But when they're going that fast before those shutter pictures of where you can see milliseconds, Jeffrey, 3 feet is a blink of the eye.
Well, Lee Petty, driving in 1959, yeah, it sounds familiar. That's Richard Petty's dad, right
Yes.
there. So,
Yes.
and then he won all kind of Daytona, didn't he, Randy?
He did. You mean the King, Richard Petty?
Richard
Yes.
Petty.
He won several times at Daytona 500 and 7 NASCAR driving championships. So that's why they call him the King. He has over 300 wins. He accomplished quite a bit. But his dad, Lee Petty, did end up winning that. And you have to remember the technology back in 1959. They didn't have millisecond. They only had moving frames that they could look at. So these guys had to keep going back and forth with this film to see where these cars were. Photographs weren't high-speed photographs like they are now. They were just normal cameras that these guys were using. Yeah, probably high-end for the time, but there's no way they could tell because the cars were just a blur at the line there.
All right. Let's just clean up the text line here before we go. Swave Dave says Aaron Rodgers is cheap tricking right now. I want you to want me. Hefty Lefty says it's so weird. The Vikings make a lot of sense for him. Favre's arc is truly fate. I don't think the Vikings are going to take Aaron Rodgers. Baker's Cocky Hen says Houston Roughnecks and the Uffle have decent weather. They got decent talent. Maybe they don't want him.
In a dome stadium.
He could double dip.
Chosen One says, you think Stafford stays with the Rams?
It sounds like they're destined to part. It's so odd and
makes
such
no
a
sense.
ugly divorce for a player that's really made a home in a second location. But it looks like they are definitely headed for a divorce.
Well, maybe the Rams will take Aaron Rodgers.
That's not obscene. You know, that is very
If
real.
Stafford goes on the market, boy, everyone's going to want him. He looked so good last year.
That is actually a possible destination for Aaron Rodgers.
If you're the Giants, would you give up the 3rd overall pick for Matthew Stafford? Feels a bit
The
heavy.
Giants are that kind of dumb.
Yeah, that feels kind of heavy.
That's a little heavy.
Moist One says, how long will it take after Rodgers retires for him? I'm not going there. I'm just going to go on to the Devil Hawk says, I, for one, like that you're clamping down on the nonsense that occurs on this show. Keep Randy in line. Same with Phil. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, I'm doing a bang-up job of that, aren't I?
Jeez.
All George Michael all the time next time.
Devil Hawk reminds me of the eagle from the Muppet Show.
Uh-huh.
You guys are weirdos.
You guys are weird.
All right. Well, that's it for us. Hey, quick. I meant to do this earlier. Sorry. Ralph, what's going on your show?
A lot of baseball. We're going to be talking baseball, some football tomorrow. So join us, Bill, myself, and we got a couple
Okay,
games.
shut up now. 10 a.m. tomorrow, Weekend Warriors. We'll see you guys on Monday. Bye-bye.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot.